Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Welcome into the pregame show presented by Sports Broadcast Solutions. I'm here with the quarterback for St. Pat's, Jermaine Young. Now, Jermaine, let's talk about this for a second. You guys are actually riding pretty well. It's probably some of the best football that St. Pat's has played in 10 years. What's kind of the mindset? What's the mindset coming into this game this week?
Probably just pound the ball, just keep it calm and collected, and do whatever we can to score the ball.
What were some of the things that you saw out of Carmel's defense that you're trying to prep for?
Probably our rollout game. They don't really follow the rollout and just scramble, pass the ball, get off as quick as I can.
Now you guys are trying to really, try and come back. You guys have been kind of, not inconsistent. You guys have put up some points, but you're trying to get on a good groove. Is that kind of what you're looking at this game to do, is trying to make some groove before the end of the season comes to?
Definitely trying to just momentum, definitely. This is the biggest thing.
All right, thank you so much, Jermaine. We'll take you into the kickoff here in just a few minutes.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
4 years at St. Ignatius College Prep means 720 days of walking into a cornerstone of Chicago's history, engaging with over 1,450 students from all over the city and state. If you were to imagine those 4 years by combining all the individual moments into days lived, what can it boil down to?
Time spent riding public transportation adds up to 30 days, moving outside your comfort zone, expanding your horizons.
You'll devote a sum of 78 days to competing on the track, field, court, on the ice, or in the pool. 8 days cheering on the Wolfpack, becoming part of something larger than yourself.
37 days singing and dancing on stage, finding your passion, uncovering new ones.
Navigating international diplomacies with Model UN for 48 days.
51 days working through complex proofs and equations in the Math Resource Center.
Celebrating our Catholic Jesuit tradition for 16 days at Mass in Holy Family Church.
25 days hypothesizing and testing in labs.
Participating in community service for 17 days. Living our mission as a woman or man for and with others.
32 days spent studying in the library. Okay, and maybe a few sleeping.
95 days of homework, learning vocabulary, developing presentations, preparing for tests, becoming a lifelong learner.
Waiting in line for a panini for 5 days.
10 days spent on the couches in formation and ministry, growing in faith and kinship.
Looking to the future with college counseling for 8 days, all the while supported through the journey.
And hopefully, 0 days in jug.
For so many, so much more, every single day spent as part of a community, a family, a network of friendships that extends far beyond 4 years. Every single day rooted in values to drive each day forward.
150 years of tradition stands at 1076 West Roosevelt Road. How will we write the next chapter in school history?
With you. We need the one and only you. A journey like no other awaits you with the Wolfpack. Each special moment, one day at a time. Come write your story at St. Ignatius College Prep.
Good evening, everybody. It's about time for some high school football at the Chicago Catholic League. I'm Kyle Smith alongside my friend and partner in crime, Carly Bell, for the Carmel Catholic Corsairs against the St. Patrick's Shamrocks. Hope you're enjoying the action. Carly, thanks so much for finally joining Sports Broadcast Solutions out of your busy schedule at Marquee Sports Network.
It's been a while. Baseball season is finally coming to a close for the Cubs, so why not get back into some football and some upcoming sports as well?
St. Pat's, if they win tonight, Carly, they got a great shot at going to the playoffs. They're 3-2, looking for a win to go forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big game for them. Not only just trying to look into the playoff picture, but just trying to get some momentum going. They've been kind of a little inconsistent, not terribly. They're putting points on the board, but when you get some back-to-back wins going, you start to get some momentum going. It makes it a lot easier to make a playoff run.
National anthem coming up in about 30 seconds, so we'll take a break. More pregame analysis coming up next. You're watching the Corsairs against the Shamrocks here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
Greg Buckner, our line judge, Bill Jones, and our back judge, Tom Hurley.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I got you. To honor America, we'd ask that you please all rise. Remove your hats as we enjoy the playing of our national anthem.
St. Patrick's excited on their home field. It's a little strange, Carly, since we're not exactly on St. Patrick's campus, but this is the home of St. Pat's and your alma mater, Fenwick.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of crazy. When I was at Fenwick, they played at Morton West, and now they decided to up the ante and come all the way over to Triton. I'm here for it. It's a great football field, too. This was renovated not that long ago. Got some good turf going, great seats. We got a good crowd in the stands. It should be a good game, too. I'm excited to see some good football.
Yeah, it just seems like we're going to continue to get hot weather. Even when it rains, it's still humid and 90 degrees outside. Everybody brought their umbrellas. We will play through the pour. Only time we'll have a stoppage in play is for lightning. We do have a siren at Triton.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hope and we can, Mother Nature will bless us today with no lightning, no thunder. Let's get through a game, and everyone stay healthy, and everyone put on a good show. Why not? It's high school football. We're in October now.
Yep, we're in October.
I can't believe we're already in October.
It feels like the middle of August.
I know. And postseason's right around the corner. These are the games that matter. I mean, everyone always says every game's matter, but you always want to end the season on a positive note, so you can carry that momentum into the postseason.
Sure. I mean, the Patriots went 16-0 in 2000.
Well, we don't need to bring up that. I don't know.
You always bring up the Patriots.
We don't need to bring up
there's people that bring up the Patriots because either they hate the Patriots or they respect the Patriots.
Well, I am definitely up for I am right there through and through.
I only brought it up because does anybody really remember the first game they won that year? Of course not. Everybody remembers when they beat the Giants to go 16-0, and then the two games they won in the playoffs. And unfortunately, they had to play the Giants again. And David Tyree kind of stopped them from having that undefeated record. But here we go. Jermaine Young Young's going to kick it off. 12-minute quarters, stoppage of play on first downs. I like St. Pat's today, Carly, but you got to give credit where credit is due. The Corsairs have looked good under second-year head coach Jason McKee.
And I would even say this is more of his first year because, 2020, man, that's just a weird year in general.
Fumbled by the Corsairs. They still can't pick it up. Finally, just diving on it. It's 13 Harlan May, so with 11:54 to go. Back-to-back fumbles, and luckily the St. Patrick's Shamrocks weren't able to get there quick enough. And a bad start for the Corsairs on their away game.
Yeah, they're not starting. They're starting deep in their own territory, too. All the way at what? It looks like, 15, 13-yard line, 14-yard line?
They're going to place it at the 11. Nope, they'll place it at the 12. First and 10 at the 12. This is pretty much the game of the year for the Corsairs because if you can't win this one, you got to go 5-4, and there's no guarantee you get in on tie breaks.
No, never. Especially with this year, a lot of people are wanting to make the postseason.
Little run up the gut. He'll get about a yard. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. And we'll call it 2nd and 9 at the 12.
In on the stop for the Shamrocks, number 99, Louis Scanio.
Scanio on the tackle.
About a yard of the play brings up 2nd down and 9 yards to go for the Corsairs.
You can see that they're already trying to make sure that Carmel cannot have their run game going. They're already blocking the inside, making sure that they can get to the quarterback quickly.
Shotgun formation, one in the backfield. That time they get a little penetration up front as it's a running play over their tailback. Fumble, it's picked up by the Shamrocks. I don't know what's going on with Carmel Catholic, but that's 2 fumbles in less than a minute. And the Shamrocks are inside the red zone with a good chance to score here.
Best thing to do when your defense gives you that, you always got to make sure you got to try and put some points on the board. It's a great opportunity for St. Pat's. I mean, they got, 11 yards, 12 yards to go. Do a nice little outside play.
So Jermaine Young, the dual threat QB, is going to get in there. He's also the place kicker on the team. Sometimes they do some punting. It's like that George Blanda everyman athlete. Most likely running play. 2 wide receiver set. I formation. Golborowski in the backfield. Full box set, and the wide receiver goes in motion. Golborowski, right up the gut. Touchdown, Shamrocks. That didn't take long.
One play. There you go. That's called taking advantage of your defense. Making sure the defense, you're taking advantage of what the defense gives you. They make sure they put you in good field position. They put you in the red zone. They force the turnover. And within one play, 6 seconds, they put up 6 points. That's the way to do it.
St. Patrick looking like the team we saw against Glenbrook North. Dominated that game and early on senior night. Looking great. Up 6-0. Perfect kick right through the upright. 7-0 Shamrocks. Early on in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching the 2021 edition of Corsairs against the Shamrocks here on SBS.
The Corsairs.
This is Sports Network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Kickoff coming for the Corsairs. 2 plays and a fumble. 1 play on offense for the Shamrocks and a touchdown. See how they regroup. The Corsairs did not look good. They had 2 fumbles, actually. One of them was on the kickoff. And might have been offsides against St. Patrick.
Preliminary signals delay of game against the Shamrocks.
Delay a game on a kickoff.
You rarely even see that in high school. I mean, delay a game in high school is pretty
never
rare.
See that in the NFL. That's for sure. Let them play. Let them play. Well, I mean, if it's delay a game, it's delay a game.
Yeah.
If I were the Corsairs, I would have just let the play go, because now it could be a good kick. And how you saw their offense the last drive, you could fumble another kickoff.
Yeah, and you never know what can happen, man.
So
with what the defense is doing, even just what we saw in that 2 plays, I mean, they are ferocious. You can tell St. Pat's is out here with a lot of energy, and they want to win this ball game.
2 fumbles by the Corsairs. And we'll re-kick on the delay of game. So Jermaine Young, the quarterback, also the place kicker. High arching kick, pretty good hang time. And the returner in French will take it. This time a good return, but the pursuit is there. And making the tackle, Vince Medina. Well, that was a good return, Carly, but they still didn't get much yardage on the play.
St. Pat's is here, man. This is a St. Pat's team that wants to win, for sure.
Have not been to the playoffs since 2013. I was actually at that game. It was at St. Viator.
Oh, wow.
I was working for Comcast. And, yeah, that was the last time that St. Pat's had been to the playoffs. They're looking good today thus far. Very early on, obviously, but for the Corsairs, you don't really know what you're getting offensively because they can't hang on to the football. Let's see if they can change things. And here we go, another flag.
On the field.
What is going on with both teams? Cannot get the snap off.
That looked like a false start or maybe a neutral zone
Winner
infraction.
signal is offside against the Shamrocks.
Okay, usually when a flag is that early, it's usually a legal motion against the offense. So that'll make it 1st and 5.
On the 27?
Yeah, mark it at the 27. 1st and 5, 1 in the backfield. 3 wide receiver set. They'll pitch it out to French. He's got nowhere to run. Good open field tackle by the Shamrocks. On the pursuit, Ryan Syrup.
Ryan Syrup.
That was lost. Wow, man, this defense, I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
For the Corsairs from their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Carmel Catholic, but they do not look ready to play. That wasn't a great snap either.
They look a little discombobulated. They look kind of a little shaken. I think starting off with a fumble is never a good way to start a football
yeah, and then they fumble. I mean, it was a good forced fumble. It was a good job of getting that hand in there to force the ball out on the fumble, but
for sure.
Still, 2 fumbles, especially they fumbled twice in a row on the kickoff, and then a bad snap to hand it over to the right. Here we go. That's a good snap. Shotgun formation. Quarterback keeper doesn't get much, maybe a yard.
I think it's a no gain. I think it's going to be 3rd down, 3rd and 7.
So Johnny Weber had nowhere to run. Also plays defensive back on the team. He's 6 foot even, 190-pound quarterback.
Gain of about a yard on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 6 yards to go.
And I think, Carly, on this drive, Carmel's got to get a first down. Not just, move the ball down the field, but give your defense a little bit of a breather because you put them in such a bad spot on the fumble inside the 15. Golborowski scores, and now you might have a 3-and-out.
Looks like they're going to go. Looks like they're overloaded here. We'll see what happens. It's a pass play.
Yep. Split the wide receivers, 1 in the slot. Shotgun formation. Late flag might be pass interference against the Shamrocks.
Well, let's see what the Zebras and referees have to say.
It's one of those touchy calls because you're not allowed to touch him before he has the ball, but you have every right to the ball. So if you make a play with your hands, force the ball to deflect, it's a legal play. They're saying he tried to make the tackle, defensive pass interference. That's excellent defense, though.
That was good defense. Great coverage.
And that's not a good sign for the Corsairs if it's going to be that tight of windows for your quarterback all night long. But early on,
that penalty brings the ball out to the Corsair 41-yard line.
And it is not a spot call, by the way. All PIs from 15 yards. Different from the NFL where everything's a spot foul on defensive pass interference. Shotgun formation.
Wide open.
Only time of the game thus far, the Shamrocks have been lackluster on defense. It's a big gain for the Corsairs.
First time in St. Pat's territory, too. They're marching the ball. I will say that. The moment that they were able to finally find some offensive groove, and I think that penalty did kind of give them a little bit of confidence, they're able to move the ball down the field. Who knows? Let's see if the defense can hold up here for St. Pat's.
Might be 4-down territory now for the Corsairs. They got first down, 9:01 remaining. As they'll take their time. St. Pat's really need this win because looming on their schedule is Loyola Academy. That's their last home game of the year. little run up the gut. Couldn't go anywhere, and then tried to find his way around the right tackle. Defense was there, leading the way, P.J. Summers.
P.J. Summers.
St. Pat's is not allowing anything on the ground right now. You have to work for it if you want to run the ball against Shamrocks.
Yeah, if you have confidence in your right and left tackles, you could consider a reverse. The problem is you've already fumbled the ball twice. Do you have confidence in that kind of trick play? But if you have good offensive linemen, a reverse wouldn't be the worst thing in the world here.
No, it's a good option, especially with the rain. The rain could also have an effect on the ball. Let's see what happens here.
They'll go split with the wide receivers. Clean pocket for Weber. Bad pass. He was open, but Weber couldn't get it to him. The intended receiver was Ashton Gondek.
That brings up third down and...
All right, Carly, you're the coach.
For the
What do you think Coach Ware is calling here, a blitz or a zone cover?
On third and long?
Yeah.
I think they might drop back. I could see some zone coverage because you know that they're going to have to throw the ball here. I don't see them running the ball, and I think St. Pat's rush defense has been pretty phenomenal all game today. They blocking up all the holes, plugging up everything. So it seems like the weak side for St. Pat seems to be on the right side. I could see it going. You can see that. I think Carmel knows it too.
They're going to split the wide receivers again. Should have been a false start. A lot of movement.
There might be another delay of game here in high school. Who knows?
Yep, it was blown, and a timeout called by Carmel. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the Corsairs against the Shamrocks here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Here we go, 3rd and 8. Carly thinks it's going to be a zone coverage. I agree with her. I think it's early on to show your blitz packages. They go with a cover 2 look. No one to throw to. Almost a pick, actually. Great job on the coverage by Anthony Callie. Here we go again. Carly, you're the coach. Go for it or you punt.
That brings up 4th down.
I mean, it's high school. I mean, why not? Why not go for it? I mean, here's the thing. You're on the what? You're on the 37-yard line. So, I mean, it's not like you're given. If you do give it up, then St. Pat's, you're not in terrible field position, but they still have to work. And it's not like you're putting St. Pat's in, Carmel territory. Why not? Go for it. I'm here for it.
You got to go with the Madden mindset. Always go for it on 4th.
Always go for it on 4th down.
Do you ever watch the show Young Sheldon?
I've seen a couple episodes.
We'll talk after this play. I'll mention an episode of Young Sheldon. It's just great. It's football related.
Okay.
But shotgun formation. Weber with it. He's got a clean pocket. He'll roll out to the left. And he's going to be close to the 1st down marker. I don't know. I don't think he has forward progress, but we'll see where they spot it.
Are they calling it 1st down?
First down.
Could have gone either way, Carly.
That was a close spot. That was a close spot, for sure.
Challenge it. Oh, wait, it's high school. So when I brought up Young Sheldon, it's really funny because it's obviously it takes place as a prequel to Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Right.
And it's like 4th and 26, and young Sheldon as a 9-year-old is telling his coach, the analytics say go for it. And so he keeps going for it. And they finally do it on like 4th and 20. Deep pass. He's got a man. Oh, Butterfingers. Weber, good job on the pass, though. Just dropped it. Maybe a little too much on it. Too much air, but that's got to be caught. It's in the hands like that. It's got to be caught.
Oh, yeah. When you're throwing something, and it was right there. It's just, but the other thing is, it looked like he was trying. It looked like it was slightly overthrown, just slightly. But still, if it hits your hands, you got to catch a football.
Only time it's okay if it's thrown behind you.
Yeah. It's the only time it's excusable.
But even T.O. would say, I got one hand, so it's all right. You just put it anywhere near my hands, I'll catch it. 2nd and 10 coming up. Now definitely 4-down territory for Carmel. They cannot get the snap off.
It's an official's timeout.
It's going to be an official's timeout, actually. I thought that Carmel was going to have to call another T.O.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is call 2 timeouts in the first quarter.
Yeah, we don't want to run the Matt Nagy off.
Oh, God. I'm not looking forward to this Sunday. Let's not get there yet. Who knows? I don't need to think about it. I've stopped thinking about it. Caused a lot of heartache and pain so far.
Text line is open tonight, 330-957-7653. Your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory? Ooh. We're not going to talk about the Bears, though. That's on our podcast, not for the broadcast.
Okay.
So if you're texting that, we're not going to talk about that on the
I don't need that. I don't need that pain right now. No.
But your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory? They're still talking it over with the coaching staff for St. Pat's. 2006.
The clock will be reset.
That's a good option. 2006 Rose Bowl. That was a good option. I'm going to have to say, though, I'm going to be honest, the NFC Championship when Brian Urlacher held up that trophy, that was pretty cool.
Were you at that game?
No, I was not. My parents were at that game, though, and it was very, I was at home. That was great. It looks like there was a clock issue.
So they finally get it settled with the clock. Carmel's breathing with a sigh of relief because when it was initially blown, Carmel thought it was a delay game. Shotgun formation, clean pocket. He steps up in it, does Weber, completes it. 2 men were there. I think that was a lack of communication on the play as there were 2 wide receivers right next to each other. But able to catch it was John Buckley, but he almost got in the way of 25, Peter Murphy.
Oh, it's just short.
It's a 3rd down and about a yard to go.
It's time for your favorite guy, the Tom Brady quarterback sneak.
No, we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't.
The Cam Newton sneak?
No. You're naming quarterbacks here that I'm not a fan of, man. Cam Newton and Tom Brady. Look, I respect Tom Brady. I just don't like him. I respect his athleticism. I just don't like him.
You can't hate on their QB sneaks, though.
No, I cannot. That's very true.
Shotgun formation right up the gut. Stiff arm. He's got an open lane to the end zone, and he scores. Touchdown, Carmel Catholic, Kyle Lynch. It's 7-6. And good run by Lynch, but Carly, you got to get lower on that tackle. Way too easy for Lynch on the stiff arm.
Way too easy. You got to finish. You just got to finish. And that's fundamentals of football, man. Make sure you just wrap him in the middle, throw him down. But that's all right. It's okay. That was also a phenomenal stiff arm by Carmel. Just putting it out there. That was unbelievable. He looked like Matt Forte out there with that stiff arm. That was great.
He's thinking about going for 2. He's going with the Mike Tomlin. Okay, there we go. Because originally they were talking it over on a shotgun formation, and they can't get the snap off.
There is a penalty mark around the field.
Another flag. It might be too many men on the field.
Illegal substitution against
Well,
the Corsairs.
I was kind of right. Illegal substitution. So they had 12 men way too long. And that's big, Carly, because nothing is guaranteed in the kicking game for high school football.
Never. But here's the thing: this is one of those positions that you're able to kind of. I always root for high school kickers, man, because you're not doing this in flag, you're not doing it in Pee Wee, you're not doing it in Potter, you're not doing it anywhere until you get to high school. It's a learning experience for sure.
Big kick. Good snap, good hold, right through the uprights. That ties it up at 7, so Kyle Lynch scores to tie up the score. You're watching the Corsairs against the Shamrocks here on SBS.
Now the Shamrocks 7, the Corsairs 7.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Jack Fuller.
1st and 10 at the 40. You're just joining us. 2 rushing touchdowns. A Good drive by the Corsairs. An iffy call on 4th down, as it looked like he was short, but they gave him forward progress, and Kyle Lynch scored a couple of plays later. We'll see if that comes to bite the St. Patrick Shamrocks later on, and the ball falls down.
Here comes Mother Nature.
That's why rugby's so great. You can't use tees on the kickoff. It's always a drop kick.
That's true.
Squib kick. I don't know about that decision by Carmel, but if the ball is
looks
loose,
like Carmel got that one.
Onside kick is recovered by the Shamrocks.
Oh my gosh.
St. Pat's got
What a break for St. Patrick after Carmel had the momentum. And Carmel goes with a very iffy onside kick call. Carly, I didn't like that one.
Yeah, a squib kick in the first quarter. I mean, I'm here for it. Get gutsy, but that's an interesting call there.
Especially that their offense is really good, giving their defense a breather. And
you're also giving St. Pat's like prime field position. It's a very interesting call.
Maybe the start of the third quarter you consider it because it's, everybody's been sitting around for a while. They don't expect it. But early on in the game, I don't know. But if you have confidence in your defense, and hey, Jason McKee, former fullback for the Bears. So if there's a guy that knows football, it'll be Jason McKee.
Maybe just a little bit. Maybe he knows football.
As much as I love playing armchair quarterback, Jason McKee actually knew about quarterbacks playing in the National Football League.
I'm excited to see what he can do. We've seen a lot of former Bears move into the high school head coaching role, and a lot of them are pretty successful after a couple of years.
Little jet sweep. He's got blockers. And Washington will be brought down inside the 45.
Gain of what, 7, 6? Where are they going to spot that?
More than 5, that's for sure. They are late on the down and distance here. But
Get on the stop for the Corsairs, number 8. AJ.
Gain of 5.
Gain of about 6 yards on the play.
6.
Brings up second down.
Never said I was good at math, everyone.
For the Shamrocks, just inside the Corsair 45-yard line.
I think for St. Patrick, they like to run spread, but I think you're going to continue to pound it down their throat until they prove they can stop it.
Chicago Catholic League in general just loves the spread offense, but we'll see what happens.
Except St. Ignatius. We were there last night. We were at that game. I don't know if you watched it, Carly, but St. Ignatius beat Mount Carmel for the first time in 93 years.
Wow.
They beat them 27-0.
Wow. Look at the Wolfpack, man.
First down.
Now 6-0.
I mean, I went to Fenwick, man, at St. Ignatius, and when I was at Fenwick, we were not a football school. We won the Prep Bowl 6-0. That was the highlight of Fenwick's football career while I was there.
Since you're a Fenwick alum, I will try not to mention intentional grounding as much as possible. Shotgun formation. Good pass. And you kind of see a difference between the two quarterbacks. That's right in rhythm, right in stride. With Weber, he's a little bit late on the passes most of the time. You can obviously change that going forward, but right now it looks like Young's a little bit more rhythm.
Yeah, you can tell that he's finding his groove in this offense. When he spoke to the pregame, he said, he goes, this is something that we kind of worked on, and this is a game that we're looking at to create momentum going forward throughout the season. And when your quarterback's saying that and he's putting up numbers like he's doing right now, you got to believe it.
Jermaine Young. Back under center, of course. They like to run a lot of shotgun, as you would expect in the spread offense. One in motion. Fakes the handoff. Young rolls out to the right. He's got a wide open man. Wozni, one man to beat. He's gone. Touchdown, Shamrocks. A great route. A great pass. Not the best defense in the world, but the Shamrocks will take it. They now lead by 6.
You could tell Young saw that from a mile away. He was watching him, and he saw the defense fall apart, took advantage of it, and that's 6 points for the Shamrocks.
You have great pass protection.
Oh,
we
man.
saw on that play. He had all day to throw. Wozni took his time on the wheel route.
He could cook a steak back there. I mean, that was unbelievable. He had so much time.
Good snap, good hold. Kick, little line drive kick, but it works. That makes it 14-7 in favor of St. Patrick here on Sports Broadcast.
In the first quarter at Triton Stadium, home of the Shamrocks, the score is now.
Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting...
Kickoff coming up. Jermaine Young, the do-everything athlete. For St. Patrick, everything's been really good today. A couple of plays have gone the Corsairs' way, including that fly route that was dropped in the end zone. But really, the Shamrocks have dominated on both offense and defense. Kickoff, brought out at the 5. It's brought out by French. He waits for his blockers, gets past the 15, and the pursuit is there. He'll get to about the 20, and then driven down by the Shamrocks.
St. Pat's student section real loud right now. I'm here for it.
And on the stop for the Shamrocks, number 11, Keith Hoffman. That kickoff is returned to the Corsair.
This is a drive that Carmel, they need to at least make some momentum, make some moves, see if you can get another touchdown. I feel like this could be a nice shootout that we're going to see tonight. The amount of offensive power that we've seen out of both teams, once they find their rhythm, they're moving.
Shotgun formation, 2 in the backfield, little pistol formation actually. And clean pocket, Weber will look to throw. Wobbly pass, should have been picked. Owen Lyons was on the coverage, right through his hands.
That was a close call. You can tell he was not happy that it was right there, right there. That's great defensive coverage, though. This St. Pat's defense, man, they're powerful. They're powerful.
Second and long. Weber's been shaky today. All that matters is the final score. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. See how we can adjust on this play. He's been picked by the Shamrocks. Bad snap. No choice but to just take it himself. Wiggers are going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Forward progress gets him back to the original spot.
Number 4, Johnny Weber.
There's Goborowski again. Two-way player, creating havoc on the defensive front.
No gain on the play, brings up 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
I think here, Carly, yeah, you want to get the first, but if you go with that slant route, the way the Weber's been throwing, good chance it gets picked.
We'll see what happens here, man.
See what they do here. Maybe a wheel route. Gotta get the first.
Guys, we got a whiteboard over there. Can somebody draw it up for him?
Gonna go with trips to the right, one to the left. Clean pocket. He steps up into it. He's got a man. And a great throw by Weber. Touchdown, Carmel Catholic. And we got ourselves a potential shootout tonight.
Pass on the play is complete.
Wow. So Weber must have been listening to me. He just put a lot of air into it. Beautiful throw, touchdown, Corsair.
And unfortunately for St. Pat's, he was running with him, and looks like the turf monster got to him.
Turf monster is always undefeated. Just ask Daniel Jones.
Oh, my goodness.
The turf monster is winning more games than Daniel Jones right now.
That, yeah. I'm not a fan of the turf monster. Well, in certain situations. If he wants to take advantage of the Green Bay Packers every weekend, I'm okay with it.
Extra point coming up. Nothing to guarantee in high school football when it comes to extra points. Not the best snap in the world. Good hold, though. Good kick. It goes to the upright. So Carmel Catholic ties it up thanks to Weber's touchdown pass and the extra point by John Buckley. Let's take a break. It's 14-14 here on SBS.
Save the date for our basketball alumni.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swam 50 breast.
Back to receive for the Shamrocks.
All right, Carly, we got ourselves a potential shootout tonight. It's 14-14.
I'm not saying I'm psychic, but I'm kind of psychic.
I thought it was going to be a battle in the trenches. It's usually been that way with Bill Borowski as the lead man for the Shamrocks, but Jermaine Young showing why he's the quarterback. He can throw it too. Weber with the longest pass of the night. Picked up at the 13. Shamrocks on their kick return. He's going to be brought down short of the 30. Well, for St. Patrick, Carly, you just got to do you. You got to just score points. Don't even think about the defense. You don't think about, oh man, I don't know if our defense could stop. You can't think that way. You just got to find a way to get points and trust your defense to get stopped.
Oh, absolutely. This is the time where you take a deep breath and you sit there in that huddle and you're like, you know what? Let's take a deep breath here. This is our team. This is our time. This is our offense. Let's show what we can do, and let's show. I mean, I can see Jermaine Young. Automatic, we're going to go a deep pass here. I can see it. Why not? Have some fun with it.
Go with a 2 wide receiver set. 2 in the backfield. So they're going to run up the gut with Boborowski. Just a powerful back. I don't want to make the exact comparison to Brandon Jacobs, but
that's a good comparison.
He just loves to hit people.
Yes, he does.
Brandon wasn't the fastest of foot, but he loved just barreling into people and getting extra yards.
I'm here for it. I love those old school, gritty, tough type of running backs, man. You just put your head down and you bulldoze through. That's the best type of football right there. We're seeing it right now.
That's what makes me watching Walter Payton is so great. He loved hitting people, and you couldn't catch him.
That's very true.
3 wide receiver set. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. Not going to get much. Good job on the tackle.
Looks like Carmel read that right away.
Roosevelt Henderson, just a sophomore. Big boy, though. 255 pounds. It never feels good being hit by a 255-pound linebacker.
No, never.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and about 2.5 yards to go for the Shamrocks from their own 30.
So we call it 3rd and 3. It's a very short 3 for the Shamrocks.
Big play for them right here.
Now, the Shamrocks have all 3 timeouts, Carly, so if they get a couple of yards, they could do a hard count to try to draw the Corsairs offside.
That's very true.
Rolling out to the right. Another clean pocket. The pass protection has been excellent for St. Pat's today, and it leads to a first down.
Or just take it yourself. You got an open receiver there. Why not take it yourself?
Look, when you've got all day to throw and run, just let your right tackle lead you to the first down marker.
Oh, absolutely.
First down, 10 yards to go. For the Shamrocks from their own 41-yard line.
Nice set of fresh downs here for St. Pat's. That was a great run for Jermaine. Also, I mean, his football IQ is actually pretty high. I'm here for it.
Yeah, he's an athletic player. Good comparison is Kane Coulter.
Okay.
At Northwestern.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be playing quarterback at the college level, but he can do a lot of different things. And Coach Guerrera and the coaching staff did not like what they saw. They'll call a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the Shamrocks against the Corsairs here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
See what St. Pat's decides to call in that timeout. 1st and 10 for St. Patrick's. This is just the first quarter, by the way. We got a long way to go before this game ends. Another clean pocket all day to throw. Wide open, man. He's got a half step in the defender. Can't bring him down. Touchdown by the wide receiver, Mikey Brosnan.
Oh, it's not. Looks like it's not a touchdown. Looks like they're saying he stepped out around the 12-yard line. I thought I saw a foot step out, too. Hey, regardless, that's a first down and you're in the red zone. Take it where you can.
That's a huge break for Carmel because you still got 12 yards to get to the end zone. Anything can happen. Fumbled snap, right? Running back fumbles, maybe even a pick six. Big break for Carmel. Good pass, even better catch. Brosnan goes down and gets it.
First down?
Yeah, he wants the touchdown, but he was clearly touched at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
But that is a legal play. If you're not touched, you can roll your way into the end zone.
Yes, you can. All they're saying he's short of the first down.
Brings the ball down to the Carmel 3-yard line, brings up second down and about a half yard to go for the Shamrocks from there.
I think you just run it with Govorowski here.
Why not? Easy. Just to get the first down, get a nice new fresh set of downs.
The push up front has just been excellent by the Shamrock offensive line. To Govorowski. Barely touched. Touchdown, Alex. Touchdown, Shamrock. That makes it 20-14. Who needs kickers when you can run the ball like that?
The extra point for the Shamrocks. Mike Schwab. Holding on the play will be number 15, Jack Dozier.
Mike Schwab will attempt the kick. Almost offside against Carmel. Okay, snap. Hold was there. Kick is there. Right to the uprights. That makes it 21-14.
3 seconds remaining here.
We'll take a break here on
College prep means 720 days of walking into a cornerstone of Chicago's history, engaging with over 1,450 students from all over the city and state. If you were to imagine those 4 years by combining all the individual moments into days lived, what can it boil down to?
Time spent riding public transportation adds up to 30 days, moving outside your comfort zone, expanding your horizons.
You'll devote a sum of 78 days to competing on the track, field, court, on the ice, or in the pool. 8 days cheering on the Wolfpack.
For the Corsairs, number 2, Tory French.
53 seconds in the first quarter. We already got 35 points of offense.
33, Kyle Lynch.
I'm ready for a shootout. I want to see it. I'm watching Bears football, man. When they put up 6 points, I'm ready to see some touchdowns.
Jermaine Young, man, he is an athlete to watch. Look at that kick.
The kick goes into the end zone. The Corsairs will take over first down and 10 yards to go.
Fair catch in his own end zone, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. In the NFL, it's 1st and 10 at the 25, but NCAA, it's the normal 1st and 10 at the 20.
Yeah. NFL rules, man. There's a lot of people like to say the NFL is the no fun league. A lot of these rules, you know, stay quiet. We'll stay quiet. We'll stay quiet.
We'll go down that rabbit hole another day.
Yeah, another day. Oh, the other thing that I love is that these are quick offenses, too. They're moving the ball quick.
Yeah, not exactly a no-huddle, but they are not taking too much time in the huddle. Another wide open man, this time out to the tight end. Putting on the afterburner, gets past midfield on the catch. Now the ball actually... Now with Jack, I didn't get a pronunciation. Now
there was a penalty marker on the field. Preliminary signal is roughing the quarterback against the Shamrocks.
It's going to be roughing the passer. Should be an extra 15 yards.
Yeah, they were I pro. It was a Z motion, if I remember correctly.
Well, that great defense we saw early on in the first quarter, Carly, is now a lot of wide open wide receivers and tight ends for Carmel Catholic.
I think the other thing is Carmel was just a little rattled off of that fumble to start, so I think now they're settled into their offense, and this is the type of football that we're going to see now from now on. And I think St. Pat's may have gotten a little too confident when you put up 2 fumbles in 2 plays.
All right, defense, let's stop them!
We're going to try to get it to Luke Nalawak, 6'4", tight end. Trips to the left, one to the right. Clean pocket. Steps in the throw to Weber. Underthrown. Oh, what a catch!
Wow, what a catch.
Excellent catch by Gondek.
What a catch!
Flag on the play, though. Might be a hold against Carmel. What a catch, though. My goodness, that should have been picked.
And with great defensive, exactly. That was great defensive coverage, too. We'll see what the call is here.
Did he push off? I don't think he pushed off.
I don't think it was PI. No, I don't think so. It could have been something on the line. It looks like it was thrown at the line. I didn't see it in the secondary.
Primary signal is personal foul against the Shamrocks.
Offsetting
Also,
penalties.
Offensive pass interference against the Corsairs.
And it is offensive pass interference and also a unnecessary roughness against St. Pat's.
10 yards to go for the Shamrocks.
I don't know.
Reset. Hit the reset button.
I'm going to watch it on instant replay. If that was a push-off.
That was soft. That was a soft push-off. I just thought that was great defensive coverage, and he went over him.
It's that, and it's also the pick play where it happens so fast. It's sometimes called, it's sometimes not called. Then you watch in the NFL, everybody's pushing up, the cornerback and the wide receiver. When is it PI, when is it not? It's tough to take that TD away from the kid, but if he pushed off, he pushed off. We'll watch it on instant replay after the game. 1st and 10, we'll reset here. Weber, out to the right, and a fumble, and a recovery for St. Patrick. Oh my goodness, 3 fumbles on the day by the Corsairs. 2 of them lost, that time fumbling it, Sean Buckley.
That's a way to change momentum.
What a break that was, because he broke the tackle, but he forgot to bring the ball with him.
I thought he got his hand in there.
He did, it was swiped a little bit.
A little peanut punch?
A little peanut punch, but got to be better with the ball. There are players that struggle with that. Delvin Cook, a little bit. I still remember that NFC Championship game. I think Adrian Peterson had 4 fumbles.
Yeah. It's all about how you hold the ball, man, especially on a day when it's wet like this, and we got rain coming later. We might see more turnovers.
St. Pat's, they're going to run it up the gut with Boborowski. Breaks a tackle, past the 35, barely his way to the 45.
This guy, he's just a monster, man. That's your running back? That guy's a running back. That big guy, he could play tight end.
It's just a power back. It's almost like the high school equivalent of the refrigerator. You just give that ball and everybody get out of the way.
Exactly. This will probably be the final play of the quarter here for St. Pat's.
Clock stops at 13 seconds. They'll reset it in a couple of seconds from now. And the game it is right now, St. Pat's is fine with a no-huddle offense. Run up the gut with Boborowski. That time, a gang tackle, finishing the tackle, H.A. Adjiga. And that'll do it for the first quarter.
Corsairs, number 8, H.A.
And we got an announcement. Justin Fields will be the quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
4 yards to go for the Shamrocks.
We're going to talk about that in the second quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching the Shamrocks against the Corsairs here at
Titan Stadium with the score.
Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. Other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Stolen O'Connor and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot and a goal. So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
Tonight, if the faculty members that are here would congregate at the 20-yard line.
2nd and 4, second quarter.
I'm
I'm excited to see Justin Fields one more time against the Lions. He'll be starting tomorrow for the Chicago Bears. 2nd and 4. This time Wozni. That's a clean tackle. It's a clothesline, not a horse collar. It makes the 3rd short for the Shamrocks.
I thought he got the first down. No, he didn't. Okay. 3rd and 2.
Pitch McKean of the ball here and a play for the Shamrocks. Gain of about a yard, brings up 3rd down and 2 yards.
You're wondering why they don't always run the ball with Govorowski. Well, he also plays linebacker, so
I was like, can we just give it to him more? Why not?
he's a very conditioned guy, but even the most conditioned guys get tired.
Outside back is going to shoot that.
As much as the Titans would love to use Derrick Henry 35 times a game, sometimes you got to give him a break.
I'm still mad I wasn't able to get him in my fantasy draft this year, man. Someone
Yeah, yeah.
snuck and took him. Pick before mine.
Comes Power.
Flag on the play, most likely illegal motion against the Shamrocks.
Yep.
Delay game.
Another delay of game penalty. I didn't think they were. I thought they were a little long in the huddle there too. So
47-yard line.
that's
3rd down and 9 yards to go.
went from 3rd and manageable to 3rd and long.
3rd and 7.
All right, boys, let's make that up.
If you're Jermaine Young, you got to be careful here. If it's not there, you're running on the QB sneak. Cannot afford a turnover. Cannot afford an interception.
Yeah, that's the one thing you don't need right now because Carmel's hot. Looks like there's a timeout, St. Pat's.
St. Pat's, they weren't ready again. Would have been a delay game, so they got to call timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. We're watching the Shamrocks against the Corsairs here on SBS.
SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team.
Here we go. 3rd and 9 coming up. Shotgun formation, one in the backfield. Jermaine Young with a quarterback sneak.
Oh, take it yourself, sir. Take it yourself.
In on the stop for the Corsairs, number 44, Cameron Lane. That gain is good enough for the Shamrock. First down, 10 yards to go for the Shamrocks.
Big play for St. Pat's. You know, you suffer from a penalty, you go from a 3rd and short to a 3rd and unmanageable of a 3rd and long. And then you take that timeout after that, you know. It'd be a little unreasonable. But the fact that you were able to get that first down, big move for St. Pat's.
Jermaine Young, I formation. Boot. Little play action boot. That's going to be almost picked off. As on the coverage, that time by Harlan May.
I thought I saw some hands. I thought I saw some hands. There is a flag.
Talk it over. It's going to be against Brosnan.
Wait, really? That's interesting.
The defense has every right to the ball, too. I think, honestly, you don't even call it.
I know. I just thought that was hand fighting. I just thought that was just some hand fighting. A little ticky-tack.
Now, the head ref can talk it over with the crew and change the call, but it's hard to do that when there was a guy right there to make the call.
Yeah. Well, when you see those stripes right next to you, you always got to be a little bit more careful, but I thought that was a little soft with the call.
What I do like, though, it's very consistent. That's now 2 offensive pass interference calls.
That is true. They're calling it both sides of the ball.
They're not going to give it to you. You're going to have to earn the catches. Any kind of push-off is going to be called today.
From the Carmel 42-yard line. Correction, the Shamrocks 42-yard line.
So it's 1st and 20.
We're at 71.
And it's going to be another quarterback keeper by Jermaine Young. He's going to be gang tackled.
Jermaine Young keeps the ball.
Good job by Jermaine, though. Knew he was going to be tackled, so he turned his back to absorb the hit better.
Number 8, AJ Okaga.
May as well on 1st down try and get some yardage, get a little bit closer. Nice, easy call.
Jermaine Young is not a little guy playing.
No, no,
6'3", 235.
Yeah.
Correction there from the Shamrocks.
The same Lamar Jackson. He'll take the hit, and he'll go into contact willingly. Lamar will too, but John Harbaugh likes him to do that quarterback slide because Lamar's a little small.
A little bit.
2nd and long. Jermaine Young.
Carmel looks a little confused.
Steps into it. Soft on the throw. Gets over to Wozni. Great job by Wozni. And he's tackled past the 40. 23 on 23. The catch by Murphy.
Can we talk about that footwork? Can we talk about that footwork? Sir, bravo. That is how you get extra yards after the catch right there. It's all about your footwork, especially on a tight sideline too, man. When you're right near that line, it's a little bit hard. You want to make sure that you're able to plant your foot and move out and create some space. That's exactly what he did to make this a very, very, very manageable 3rd and 7.
I apologize, that was Jack Fuller. Wozny's 21. 37. It's gut check time for the Corsairs. Defense has not been great, but that doesn't matter now. You just got to get the ball back to your offense.
Got to the line very quick there.
Oh my God.
Herrera saw it. There's going to be a delay game. He has to call a timeout.
Final timeout.
Now they're out of timeouts now.
Shamrocks.
We'll take a timeout as well. It's Shamrocks 21. Corsairs 14 here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. Other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense.
3rd and 7. I'm the St. Patrick Shamrocks. I'm thinking a quarterback sneak and then going for it.
I want to see a pass. Why not? Go some distance.
Back in the backfield.
Or give it to him, too.
That's been working a lot today.
Flag on the play, though. That may be negated.
Stop for the...
You always wonder, why was the hole that big?
That looked like a holding. Chop block.
Penalty call on the play is chop block against the Shamrocks.
That might be the right call. It just seems like a pretty fast developing play for a chop block.
I know.
Usually a chop block's on one of those slow-moving pass protection plays.
Well, here's the other thing, too. Remember, I mean, that's also a somewhat wet field. I mean, there is rain in the forecast today. It did rain a little bit earlier. I mean, it could just be you never know. It could be a slip into a chop block. You never know. But I didn't see a chop. I thought I saw more of a hold than a chop block.
Yeah, for sure. And that chop block.
And that's a hefty penalty.
15 yards. But that's the thing. If you see a defender already engaged with your teammate, you can't block and chop down at the knee.
Brings up 3rd down.
You're going to call it every time, especially at the high school level.
For the Shamrocks for there.
All right, Shamrocks, let it go.
Make it 3rd and 22.
Make it out now.
And for Jermaine, he's going to be very conservative here. Good pass, completed, but way short of the 1st down. Making the catch is Isai Cicino.
The stop of the Corsairs, number 25, Peter Murphy.
I know you want to go for it. Now, what you could do is you could do a hard count to gain some more yards. And what's the worst that could happen? A delay game anyways.
Let's see what happens here. I could see a hard count happening. I could see a hard count happening. Hard, words are hard, guys. Hard count happening here, but looks like they're going to probably go a QB sneak.
This is dangerous if you don't get it. Great field position for the Corsairs. Good push up front, and he got it. First and 10 for Jermaine Young in the offense. Gutsy call by Coach.
I'm here for it, though. I am here for it.
First down, 10 yards to go for the Shamrocks from the Corsair 30-yard line.
Wow.
This is also a drive that's taken a lot of time off the clock, too. Best way to try and time management, clock management is very, very crucial, more so in high school football than I would say anywhere else, because you're not getting the benefit of media timeouts or anything there.
Quarterback keeper all the way. And on the QB sneak, it's about 5 to 25. On the tackle, Cam Lang.
And on the stop of the Corsairs, number 52.
And also joining him is Spiros Pisios.
Brings up second down and 5 yards to go for the Shamrocks, just inside the Corsair 25-yard line.
Tick, 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 tick. I mean, St. Pat's, they're trying to take as much time as possible off this clock. Try not to give Carmel any time left with the clock. Here's the thing, man, high school football, you don't have media timeouts, you don't have any of that. Everything is just the clock moving. Clock management is very, very important in high school football.
Fakes the handoff to Goborowski. Try to get it to Fuller.
Number 23, Jack Fuller is
good pass.
incomplete.
Is that his first incompletion of the game?
And about 5 yards
definitely less than
5. Again, with the ball just
made
inside
great connections with all of his receivers.
25-yard line.
And the other thing is he's showing a lot of variety, too. He's letting everyone kind of touch the ball.
That, and he's letting the play develop. He's not eyeing one receiver. He's using his eyes to get the safety to cheat to one way and then go in the other with the ball.
His football IQ, man, it's really impressive.
3rd and 5. There's that man again, Goborowski in the backfield.
Give it to him.
They'll come with the house. And even when they bring 8 in the box, he still gets close to the first down.
I think he got it. Yes, he did.
Got him. That's a smart football player right there. He knew he was close to the first. He dove for it. Got it.
He's averaging, I got to say, at least 5-6 yards a carry.
Carmel Corsair 19-yard line.
This is going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Assuming St. Patrick's can win this game and win at least one more. With Goborowski, Jermaine Young's a pretty good player. It's a tough out in the playoffs. But first things first, they got to win this game.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to get too ahead of yourself.
But man, if I was a linebacker, I do not envy these linebackers trying to tackle 44. In the pocket, on his back foot. And it's going to be defensive pass interference against the Corsairs.
That was a pretty obvious push off there.
No choice for Murphy, though, Carly. It was clearly beat on the play and no choice but to grab the jersey.
I mean, look, I get it. I do understand it, but come on, man.
Well, you can't get beat on the play. That's the problem.
Well, even when you get beat, there's ways to recover. You can always at least try and find a way to recover and get in at least, the passing zone. Try and get within the path of the ball if you can, without touching somebody. You just jump up there, and if it happens, it happens. This will put them.
It's not a spot ball. It should be a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, so that'll put them at the 5-yard line, if that is what the call is, which I'm seeing that's what it is.
Preliminary signal is offensive pass interference against the Shamrocks.
Look, I'm not going to blame the officials today. I think they've done a good job. Now, he touched the hat. It could be a legal man downfield, but if they call offensive pass interference, my goodness.
So now we went from first and 10 to first and 25. Last time this happened, they did a touchdown came out of it, so we'll see what happens.
At the end of the day, I think you got to start letting them play a little bit. Both defender and offensive player are going after the ball. Screen pass going nowhere.
Oh, I mean, you're supposed to stop when you hear the whistle, I mean?
Yeah, you give them about 1,000, 2 1,000, then you call unnecessary roughness.
Number 22.
Now, what you don't, it's automatic unnecessary roughness if you grab the player up and throw him down, regardless of when the whistle was blown.
And
that wasn't
2 yards
done,
on the
so
play. Brings up second down.
You hear the whistle, you stop.
Easy to say up here.
That's very true. When you're on the field, sometimes you can't hear it. Lights are on. It is starting to get dark until fall is here.
Saturday Night Football. What's better? Shotgun formation, another clean pocket. The pass protector's been excellent tonight from St. Patrick. Out to the left. A flag on the play. Initial inclination is to hold against the Shamrocks.
Yeah, that's going to come back. Can't do that, guys.
And there's a hold there, Carly, but that's really not on the offensive line. They gave Young more than enough time to throw the ball. Eventually, he's just got to roll inside the pocket and throw it away.
I mean, he's had an unbelievable amount of time back there. This offensive line is doing a fantastic job. Fantastic job.
Why do you get 3rd and 23?
Not only just a fantastic job with pass protection, but they're creating holes as well. I mean, this is a very good offensive line.
How are you?
This is where my math fails me here. This is what, 2nd and forever?
My nephew and my brother is here. He's going to love it. Hey, what's happening?
So, I believe it went 2nd and 23. Should be 3rd and 33.
Back to the Shamrock 45-yard line.
And it doesn't help. They're a little bit late on updating the scoreboard. That's all.
It's 2nd and forever.
The chains are at the 19. 35. All right now it's the 45. 50 plus. That's a lot. They have no choice but just run the ball and punt. 2nd and 45. My goodness.
You get 3rd and 42.
What do you have in the playbook on 2nd and 45?
Forward bird. Why not? Just throw it deep. Why not?
Just do the old Rex Grossman punt.
Exactly.
Keep it prayer.
That's when you scroll through Madden and you just hit whatever play pops up. You're like, 4 vertical. Why not?
I still can't believe to this day that the Eagles converted on that famous 4th and 26 play.
I mean,
I love it because I'm a Bear fan. They did it to the Packers, but it's still amazing.
Still, I know. Unbelievable. Here we go. Just run. You're going to have to run the ball here.
Might be a fly route. An interception's as good as a punt, and they're going to go deep. You got beat on the play, but good recovery speed that time by the D-back of the Caravan. Sorry, the Corsairs covered the Caravan a couple weeks ago.
Good job, guys.
Is incomplete.
Here's the thing, though. Look at how much time St. Pat took off the clock. 3:35 until halftime. They ate up almost 7 minutes.
Excellent time management. Good news for Carmel Catholic. They still don't have to go no huddle because clock stops on a 1st down. Just imagine how long NFL games would be if we had stoppage on 1st downs.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. They're already 4 hours long.
Bad snap. Really good kick considering how bad the snap was. It's going to take a... Lost, and he accidentally touched it. But he did not possess it, so it's still a clean ball as it got to the 10.
Corsair 10-yard line.
We'll stick with the action here with 3:42 to go.
And 10 yards to go.
All right, Carmel. What are you going to do here? You got 3:40 some odd left on the clock. You got a whole football field to go. You got 90 yards to go. Still got your 2 timeouts.
I think you just start with a 1st down. And work your way from there. And the way to do that, obviously, is you stick to your game plan and what you've been working well in practice. Yeah, the passing game's been working.
Yeah. We'll see what happens here. I could see them opening up, though, maybe with a possible run to start, but I haven't really seen a big, prominent run offense out of Carmel all game.
There they go. A little quick pass out to the right and getting out of bounds after a gain close to the 1st down marker. And he got it on the forward progress. 1st and 10 coming up, 3:36 to go.
First down, 10 yards to go for Carmel from their own 22-yard line.
If you're a Carmel fan watching this broadcast, you'd want to establish the run game, but at this point, you're just trying to find any kind of way to get a victory. And if you got to pass the ball 50 times a night, you might have to do that.
And here's the other thing. This defensive line, the few times that they have run against St. Pat's, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
This is going to be a pass. We're going to see a lot of air movement today.
Passing game's working, not the running game. They're going to go with a pass again. Another quick throw.
Looks like that was just at the line.
He's got the arm. He's just been a little inconsistent with the accuracy today.
It looked like someone, maybe, I mean, that looked like a good pass. Maybe someone touched it at the line.
Possibly. It's a little low. That was also the Gondek, who has excellent hands.
Dude's all over the place today.
He had a touchdown taken away from him on a very iffy offensive pass interference.
Yeah, very iffy.
But what goes around comes around, and then 5 minutes later they called the same offensive PI on St. Patrick, so they've been consistent with the calls. Clean pocket. Weber rolls out to the right. Pressure comes eventually, and he's brought down. He gets about a yard on the sneak.
Looks like it maybe a loss of 1, loss of 2.
And they're going to say his knee was down before he dove for it.
Brings up 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
No, they did give him a yard. 3rd and 9.
Outside their own 21-yard line.
I think you got to be aggressive. Yeah, you don't want to throw an interception, but the way that St. Pat's offense has looked, I think you got to find a way, no matter what it takes, to get a first down.
They seem to be taking advantage of the left side of the St. Pat's defense.
Carmel has not led all day. They've looked a lot better than the start, though. Another clean pocket for Weber. Rolls out to the right. Throws across his body. Dangerous play, and on the deflection is John Buckley. Over to Buckley. It was broken up by Wozni.
That brings up 4th down and 9 yards to go.
Great job at St. Pat defense right there. That's a great way to stop any momentum of Carmel trying to score some points before halftime.
And now in hindsight, you think, well, maybe they should have run it because of St. Pat's being out of timeouts. Even if you don't get the first, at least it would have killed some clock. They're talking it over.
Here's the other thing, though. I mean, Carmel's their rushing game has almost been non-existent.
Yeah, I would just say just to play the clock game so you complete that clock and you don't give Jermaine Young a lot of time.
Yeah.
Really good kick.
Number 23, Jack Fuller.
He brought it to 39. Gets past the defender. Another one, and then brought down at the 49. On the tackle is French. Apologize, that was Adjiga. And great field position coming up for St. Pat. We'll stick with the action.
10 yards to go from their own 49-yard line.
You got no timeouts. You got a 7-point lead. If I was St. Pat's right now, just run the ball.
Yeah, you can because it stops the clock.
Just run the ball.
And you can always spike it if you don't have enough time.
I would just run the ball here. I mean, you already got a lead. Yeah, you want to try and get some points up before halftime, but the last thing you want to do is try and give Carmel any opportunity to try and score before halftime. I'd run the ball.
Been good with the ball today. Very accurate. Another quarterback sneak for Jermaine. Waits for the play to develop. Just been an ultimate domination up front of the offensive line by the Shamrocks. And that was great vision, too, by Jermaine. He just waited for the blockers to get him a hole and then got the first down.
Someone on Carmel's getting up a little slow.
First down.
Oh, never good to see an injury. Never good to see an injury.
Adjiga loading it up.
7-yard line.
He has to come out for at least a play. So we'll take a quick 30-second break here on SBS.
There is
a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede.
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. Well, my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the...
It's 21-14 in favor of St. Pat's. Adjiga is going to have to come out for at least a play. Notable substitution for St. Pat's, Isaiah Smith for the game. 5'8" senior quarterback / defensive back. Smith into the game. What a catch! Brosnan with an excellent catch. And now St. Pat's going into their no-huddle look.
Jermaine back in the game as well.
Now Young back at QB. Steps up. Look at the moves and the jukes.
There's nothing I love more about a football player than their footwork. That is something that, one, it takes a lot of time to finesse and to work on. I mean, that is something that you spend years really trying to manage, because that can make or break every time.
Clean pocket. Young. What a throw. You have to put an extra zip on that one. As he gets it over to the left. He gets it over to his tight end and Sissino. Brings a very manageable second down for the St. Patrick Shamrocks. Trips to the right. To Govorowski. He's going to get the first.
I mean, this guy's just unbelievable, man. So much power.
And now for St. Pat's, you can take as much time as you'd like.
First down, 10 yards to go for the Shamrocks.
Because it's clock stopping on a first down. All you care about now is scoring a touchdown and not giving the Corsairs any time to answer. Young rolls to the right. Plenty of time again. Across his body, double team comes. Time to get it over to his tight end, 8-5.
Fortunately for St. Pat's, that interpolation stops the clock.
Yeah, that was not a good decision by Young across his body like that. But luckily he threw it high enough where only his tight end could get it. Another injury. Bodies are flying right now for Carmel Catholic.
Never ever want to see an injury. Ever.
Yeah. There's a reason why after every game, both players will go in a circle and pray together, because you just hope there's no torn ACLs, torn MCLs.
Oh, absolutely. You never. I mean, look, you have to remember, these are high schoolers, man, and injuries in high school, I speak from experience. If you don't take care of them, they can really affect you. So you never ever want to see a really bad injury at a high school level.
Roosevelt Henderson, the unfortunate injured player. 2nd and 10 at the 15. Clean pocket again. Steps into it, does Young. Great job on getting yards after catch by the receiver in Brosnan. 1st and goal coming up, and most likely going to be a spike unless the Shamrocks get to the line of scrimmage pick it up, and they will. Clock starts again with under 50 seconds to go. 1st and goal at the 2. High formation, Govorowski, the lead back. Govorowski. Wow, what a tackle. Stopped at the goal line.
Yeah, you may want to spike the ball here, boys.
Either have to spike, or you got to get the ball off for the next 5 to 10 seconds. 2nd and goal, 27 seconds.
Oh, they're still going to go for it.
Govorowski on top. Wow. Big time run today by Govorowski after he was stuck at the goal line, unfazed. They do it again with the clock rolling, and he got it to score to make it 27-14.
That's the one thing that St. Pat's, that is the one thing that you want to do for sure heading into halftime. Obviously, regardless, you want to extend your lead, and now you're making it relatively difficult for Carmel to take them out. And you got to work that two-score deficit out of halftime. So it's always difficult regardless, but now you're putting pressure on before you go into halftime. One thing that St. Pat's really needs to do, make sure that you cannot score. You want to make sure that you're carrying the momentum and energy into the locker room. The last thing you want is that to switch over at a very pivotal time for football.
28-14. We'll take our final break before halftime. You're watching the Corsairs against the Shamrocks here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
we have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor.
And number 33, Kyle Lynch.
23 seconds left in the half. And the Corsairs just don't fumble the football, and I say that because they've already done it 3 times today. 2 of them lost. There it is again. 4 fumbles. The key can't be happy about that if going into halftime.
That turnovers is going to be a big talk for coach at halftime in the locker room. Hold on to the football.
From their own 17-yard line.
Well, you've got time. You've got a timeout.
I got 2.
You can do a pass over the middle, call a timeout, another pass over the middle, then a Hail Mary. I know it's crazy, but anything can happen in football.
That's very true. That's why it's one of the best sports.
Especially in NCAA rules where the clock stops on a first down.
Oh, idiots. Offsides?
Offside against the Shamrocks.
You know what? I don't mind that because with 20 seconds left, why not try to get a jump on the snap count? What's the worst that can happen? It's 5 extra yards.
Team Nick! It's also going into halftime. You know, it's not the end of the game. It's the story. Halftime, not a bad mistake to make.
I don't love it, but I can understand
Exactly.
how deep that the Corsairs were in their own end. Trying to get a jump on the ball. 1st and 5, still a passing play, obviously, for the Corsairs. Screen pass coming up for French. Good job on the pursuit from the Shamrocks that time. It's Nick Armenta.
And he's short, so they might take a timeout here, or they might just go into the locker room. What are they going to do?
Yeah, they got to call timeout. Just they fumble the ball way too much to trust in their receivers with throws down the field.
Looks like they're going to just take it into the locker room.
We'll take a break. It's 28-14 Shamrocks here on halftime.
The Shamrocks, 28.
Chicago's history, engaging with over 1,450 students from all over the city and state. If you were to imagine those 4 years, by combining all the individual moments into days lived, what can it boil down to?
Time spent riding public transportation adds up to 30 days, moving outside your comfort zone, expanding your horizons.
You'll devote a sum of 78 days to competing on the track, field, court, on the ice, or in the pool. 8 days cheering on the Wolfpack, becoming part of something larger than yourself.
37 days singing and dancing on stage, finding your passion, uncovering new ones.
Navigating international diplomacies with Model UN for 48 days.
51 days working through complex proofs and equations in the Math Resource Center.
Celebrating our Catholic Jesuit tradition for 16 days at Mass in Holy Family Church.
25 days hypothesizing and testing in labs.
Participating in community service for 17 days. Living our mission as a woman or man for and with others.
32 days spent studying in the library. Okay, and maybe a few sleeping.
95 days of homework. Learning vocabulary, developing presentations, preparing for tests, becoming a lifelong learner.
Waiting in line for a panini for 5 days.
10 days spent on the couches in formation and ministry, growing in faith and kinship.
Looking to the future with college counseling for 8 days, all the while supported through the journey.
And hopefully, 0 days in jug.
For so many, so much more, every single day spent as part of a community, a family, a network of friendships that extends far beyond 4 years. Every single day rooted in values to drive each day forward.
150 years of tradition stands at 1076 West Roosevelt Road. How will we write the next chapter in school history?
With you. We need the one and only you. A journey like no other awaits you with the Wolfpack. Each special moment, one day at a time. Come write your story at St. Ignatius College Prep.
Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to try something new. I know we've done a lot of cool videos with should the White Sox trade for Mike Trout and what should the Bears do with Justin Fields in Week 1. And we like what Flemlo Raps does, but sometimes he doesn't do the athletes that I want to see. So I thought I would answer the question, what happened to David Gerard? And here goes. It's never easy to play the quarterback position at the NFL level. Couple that with being abnormally large for the position and dealing with Crohn's disease, and you have the very underrated career of David Gerard. What makes Gerard's college and NFL career so interesting is nothing came easy for him. He seemed to be a tight end who was actually playing QB. Remember, he was around 240 pounds when he stepped on East Carolina University's campus, but as we later found out, there simply wasn't anything that Gerard couldn't do. The only issue was his ball placement and accuracy, but I'm getting ahead of myself. When looking at the career of Gerard, you always think of two words, never quit. Gerard wasn't the fastest, and he certainly looked too big to play QB. The former Jaguars quarterback sometimes reminded me of Jared Lorenzen, but when the Jacksonville Jaguars needed a big play, Gerard would give you that Cinderella moment, coming out of nowhere and then getting the job done. And although his career probably wasn't as good as Mark Brunell's, he still was one of the all-time greatest Jaguar players. The Jacksonville Jaguars YouTube account lists Gerard as number 23 all-time as a Jaguar player. I disagree with that. He should be much higher on that list, especially since he didn't always have the most talent around him. But let's not delay any further. As Flemlo Raps would say, this is what happened to David Gerard. Gerard began playing football at around 8 years old. And to no surprise to many people watching this video, many of his coaches didn't see his future at quarterback. When Gerard attended Neal Middle School in Durham, North Carolina, his coaches instead put him at fullback. He was so big that he was basically the Mike Allstott of middle school football, as he pretty much carried the opposing defenders down the field. And according to Gerard, he didn't mind playing fullback. I was happy with the arrangement because I got the majority of the carries, said Gerard. I never even thought about playing quarterback. In fact, it was his preteen and early teenager teammates who actually vouched for him to play quarterback. To test his ability to effectively play the position, his coaches would line up a handful of players 15 yards away from Gerard and tell him to zip the ball to them. After easily completing the passes, the coaches told him to put even more oomph on his throws, and according to Gerard's ego, he quote-unquote lit it up on his next several passes. And from that moment on, he was a future NFL quarterback. But Gerard playing the QB position still came with its set of drawbacks. Gerard entered the NFL when Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick were just getting their feet wet as a black quarterback in the NFL. And for people who weren't born in the early 2000s, it was very much a stereotype that coaches and GMs would stay away from drafting African American quarterbacks. In essence, drafting a black quarterback came with its controversies. Remember when Eagles fans booed at the Donovan McNabb draft selection? It's obviously dumb to point out a purely racism problem since Randall Cunningham, Dante Culpepper, Vic McNabb, and others all got their shot at QB, but black quarterbacks were still very much a small number in the NFL when Gerard was a rookie. But being an African-American quarterback was not the reason why teams didn't draft him. Rather, it was a variety of factors. First of all, being from a mid-major school certainly didn't help David Gerard's draft stock. Interestingly enough, Gerard actually played against Byron Leftwich during their college years. Their lone matchup was an amazing college football bowl game where Leftwich's Marshall team somehow came back down by 30 points and defeated Gerard's East Carolina squad 64-61 in double overtime. This memorable GMAC Bowl game was a preview of both quarterbacks playing together on the Jacksonville Jaguars, where Gerard would get the last laugh by taking away Leftwich's QB job. Gerard got the nickname the Beer Truck when he played at East Carolina University, and the name definitely suits him due to his enormous stature. He explains why he got that nickname.
Coach Logan, he said, you know what, you run down the field and people get out of the way like a beer truck that's out of control. And I ran with it.
Secondly, while Gerard's East Carolina Pirates were very competitive during his time in Greenville, North Carolina, they still weren't a dominant squad. This is important to know because one of the reasons why mid-major quarterbacks like Zach Wilson can rise on the draft board is because their team was undefeated for most of the season. The old adage, you are what your record says you are, can sometimes define how valuable your quarterback play is to the team's overall success. In layman's terms, Wilson's undefeated BYU squad, until their loss to Coastal Carolina, proved to some NFL draft scouts that he's the real deal at QB. Gerard, you might ask? His best season at East Carolina was 9-3, which included ECU defeating the number 13 ranked Miami Hurricanes that season. A very good record at 9-3, but it was still a far cry from Alex Smith's undefeated season when he played quarterback at the University of Utah. Regardless of the reason why Gerard fell in the draft, the Jaguars took a chance on him in the 4th round. and they were rewarded with a fairly decent quarterback. Despite being diagnosed with Crohn's disease in January of 2004, the former ECU Pirate ended up getting honored for the 2009 Pro Bowl, won a playoff game, and even finished with just over 16,000 passing yards in his career. If you're not familiar with Crohn's disease, here's the SparkNotes summary of the illness. Crohn's is an inflammatory bowel disease that causes inflammation of the person's digestive tract. This disease can lead to abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, weight loss, and malnutrition. While not usually life-threatening, this IBD can lead to kidney stones, inflammation of the liver, and inflammation of the eyes. To sum up, it certainly isn't easy playing the hardest position of the 4 major American sports and being malnutritious, aka having Crohn's disease. Thankfully for Gerard, Crohn's was very treatable in 2004 and is even more treatable today. The way to generally treat Crohn's is with immunosuppressants and steroids, although surgery might be required on a case-by-case basis. And that was the unfortunate case for Gerard, as he had to have surgery in June of 2004 to remove almost 12 inches of his intestines. Despite that intensive surgery, Gerard ended up staying in the National Football League until 2003, and he did more than just stay in the NFL. He showed why he earned the starting job from head coach Jack Del Rio. In the entire history of the Jaguars, only 3 quarterbacks have won a playoff game, Brunell, Gerard, and Blake Bortles. It's not the most impressive list of QBs, but it's still obvious that Gerard had a much better NFL career than his former teammate in Leftwich. Gerard flourished best when Del Rio allowed him to best utilize his dual-threat mentality. While his numbers aren't very flashy, Gerard gave Jacksonville stability at the position once they had to move on from Mark Brunell. Even with his so-so passing numbers, Gerard still led the NFL in third down passer rating during the 2007 season. His 2007 Jaguars advanced to the divisional round, where they had to face off against the 16-0 New England Patriots. We all know how that game turned out, as the Patriots wouldn't lose a single game that season until Super Bowl 42. But as good as Gerard was, he just wasn't consistent enough to stay in the league. His QB rating never went above 81, and his last 3 years were very mediocre. His 2008 season, his third to last one in the NFL, saw him throw just 15 touchdown passes to 13 interceptions. His passer rating finished just underneath 60. His 2009 season was even worse, with a QB rating of 54.4, and although he showed flashes of greatness in 2010, his 23 TD passes to 15 interceptions proved to the Jags it was time to draft the future in Blaine Gabbert. Gabbert turned out to be a bust, but it also turned out that the Jags still made the right decision in cutting Gerard. The beer truck's engine seemed to die out once he arrived in Miami. He had arthroscopic knee surgery during the 2012 training camp, and the Dolphins were forced to release him due to injury problems on September 4th. In a span of 3 years, from 2010 to 2013, Gerard suffered multiple knee injuries, as well as undergoing surgery on his herniated disc. He attempted a comeback with the New York Jets in 2013, but that inevitably fell through as he suffered through complications with knee swelling. He retired as a Jaguar in March of 2015. So what happened to Gerard? Well, he outplayed his original draft position, but he showed at times why he lacked the arm talent and decision-making to become a star in professional football. His passes lacked touch at times, and he sometimes forced the ball in unnecessary tight windows. However, Gerard's life has been anything but unsuccessful. He's currently a spokesman for 121 Financial Credit Union, and he's a role model for kids at the Painted Turtle Camp. The Painted Turtle Camp is specifically made for kids having to endure the issues of living with Crohn's disease. Gerard never became as good as Mark Brunell, but he was certainly a better QB than Leftwich and Bortles. But most importantly, Gerard overcame the problems of Crohn's disease and being slightly big for the position. The beer truck might never become the next coming of Big Ben, but I don't think that Gerard has any regrets about his NFL career. And that's it for today. Make sure to comment below if you liked the video and subscribe to our channel.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
(28-14) as the Shamrocks lead the Corsairs. Kyle Smith alongside Carly Bell and Liam Karate on videography tonight. And Carly, the Corsairs look good except the last 5 minutes. Shamrocks really took it to them that last 5 minutes.
Yeah, you could tell that it feels like the St. Pat's offense. We've seen it kind of at the end of the quarters. They're very quick. Right. When time's ticking, they know how to put points on the board very, very quick and very fast. And the one thing that I will say is that this is probably one of the most, I don't want to say, lack of a better word, variety of offense. Like they're able to have a few options for the receivers that Jermaine is able to find very quickly, and he's shown a lot of love to all of his receivers. And then their backfield is just unbelievable. Hand it to that guy every single time, man. And then here's the thing with Carmel. They're doing really well. When they're able to find their groove, they're actually very, very powerful. But when you have 4 fumbles, sorry, that's never, that's been
two of them lost.
2 of them lost. 4 fumbles, turnover regardless whether or not you recover is never good for morale, never good for energy, never good for spirit of the team, especially on offense. When you drop that and then you do recover it. A lot of times you lost the yardage, so you're having to go back. It's a lot that you have to do. You have 4 turnovers in a game. It's difficult to come back. So I'm excited to see what Carmel's going to do at halftime. This should be very interesting coming out the gate.
And for St. Patrick, you got to keep that foot on the gas pedal.
Absolutely. You got to put the pressure on, bring the pressure defensively. Same energy that they brought to start the game, that's what they should do with their first defensive possession. First defensive drive.
When does it get to be for Carmel, you just have to pass every down, every play, because the running game, you're just not getting anything from it?
We kind of saw it on that last possession, right? Their running game is just not, they're not able to get it really established. They've had a couple good ones, but a lot of the times it's a lot of air. They left the pass game a lot, and to be honest, it's working for them. We've seen how many long passes that they're able to connect. We've seen about 15, 20-yard receptions here, and the other thing is a lot of their receivers are really good with the yards after catch. Primo, best stat to have as a receiver.
They are dominating on the fly route. They're going after it with the long ball, and they're delivering. They should actually have 2 touchdowns. It was pretty iffy on the offensive pass interference. That was a big call, but the Shamrocks are still winning this game fair and square, but the Corsairs have had their opportunity to get back into this game.
Oh, absolutely. They've had a lot of options, and the thing is sometimes, they're taking advantage of it, but mistakes are mistakes, and that's what flags and penalties are for. But hopefully they're able to turn this out. I don't want to see a blowout. I do like we're seeing a lot of offense. I want to see some competitiveness. I'd love this to be a nice one-score game when we get to the fourth. That's my favorite type of football. I want close, good defense at the very end of the game.
Well, St. Patrick is looking for revenge as Carmel beat him last year. That was Jason McKee's first ever win. So let's see how the Corsairs, we'll stick with the action here, how the Corsairs do in the second half. 12-minute quarter, so we assume 24 minutes left of football, but
who knows?
There's still plenty of time left for overtime.
Don't put that energy out there. We don't need that energy. We don't need those vibes. I want a good, close football game. No overtime.
Because in overtime, no time down, so you can play forever.
I know. No overtime. let's finish the game. Let's get the game and no overtime. No overtime. I'm not putting that energy out there right now.
Ashton Lutz, the combination kicker and wide receiver, will kick. Special teams has not been Carmel's friend tonight. 2 fumbles already on kick returns.
Do we see another squib?
Yeah, that was a weird squib. It was almost like an onside kick when they did it. This has a chance of going out of bounds, and it will. Big mistake by Carmel Catholic. You have to get grades. I think the offense is an A-, defense a B- special teams. I don't want to be mean, but it's an F.
That's enough. Yeah, for Carmel, yeah, I would say so. The defense, I will say this, though. I'd say
they're doing enough.
They're doing enough. They need to do a little bit more. If they want to make this winnable for their offense, they need to do a little bit more.
Need to stop here. Any score makes the 3-possession game for the Shamrocks. This is a huge game for St. Patrick.
They need a win here. This would be a very key win for them.
Already at 3-2, looking to go to 2 games over 500. Govorowski again. Even when he gains 2 yards, it takes everybody to tackle him.
I love him, man. I love watching him play. He's fun.
So is Derrick Henry your favorite running back in the NFL then?
Currently?
Yeah. His style is very similar to Govorowski.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he's called King Henry. I mean, you want to know why? It's because it's a nice little callback to old school. Just ground and pound football that we saw in the 70s and 80s, you know, and that's what I enjoy watching the most.
He's also
honestly.
pretty fast. He runs like a 4.7 40-yard dash. So, I mean, you don't run jet sweep with him a lot, but he's secretly fast too. A little stretch run, and the defense is there. Good pursuit by the Corsairs. Hitting the tackle that time was Ortega.
This is the type of defense that Carmel needs to come out with if they want to be able to make this a competitive game. And then on this next drive, defense holds here. Love to see what Carmel can do offensively. But first, got to get through the 3rd down first.
Big substitution coming into the game for the Shamrocks. Braden Kumiga. They're going with a 2 tight end set. Also Owen Lyons into the game. 3rd and 6. You don't have to pass here if you feel confident with your pass protection on a quarterback sneak. Bad pass. One of the few ones tonight for Jermaine. Even when he's been incomplete with a lot of those passes, Carly, he's making sure that nobody else can catch it.
And the other thing is even though I don't like saying they're bad passes. I mean, they're incompletions, yes, but they're hitting the hands. They're within the receiver's catch range.
Not too high. If he's got to jump for it, that's bad because it's going to get deflected and possibly intercepted.
Correct.
But if it's within you being standing up straight to catch it, it's definitely been there with the passes from Jermaine. And if he's tired, doesn't matter. He's also their punter. He's got to punt it. Good high arching kick. Decent hang time. It's going to be brought at the 17 by French. Stutter step move. Nowhere to go. Oh, finds a way out of that tackle. Gets a huge block. 1 man to beat, and he's gone. Possibly a hold. French is going to take it to the end zone. No call right now, and there it is. Oh, my.
That also
hold that might not have been necessary, Carly.
I don't even think that was a hold. That might be unnecessary roughness. That didn't look sportsmanlike. That looked like unsportsmanlike to me. That didn't look right.
Well, what a play that was.
That was, but
French was tackled at the 20, somehow got his way out of it, and then some humongous blocks at the 30 and 40-yard line as the officials talk it over. A lot of things were happening. There was a hold against Carmel Catholic. Then we saw bodies flying, unnecessary roughness.
Long chat. Long chat.
This
Here
is the game. It's
This
either a
is-
touchdown for Carmel Catholic or it comes
not.
back.
Yeah, exactly.
One fan base are gonna yell some words we can't say on the air, and the other fan base is gonna say, "Good call, ref."
Exactly.
Throw him out. He took a swing at him.
I would be shocked if they don't call hold.
It's going to be offsetting penalties, in my opinion. I think so. Here we go.
Another signal is personal foul against the Corsairs.
Oh, that's it.
Not just a hold, Carly, but he called unnecessary roughness on
Well, I mean, I saw it after the fact. That was kind of look, man, I don't care if you put a good block and you're able to see a run back. You don't do that. When I saw that, you just don't do that, man. There's a level of sportsmanship that you need to have, and pushing a body into the ground when it's already down.
And he grabbed near the horse collar, too, to grab him.
And look, man, as somebody who's had her multitude of concussions in her life, come on. Be safe. Be safe out there, guys. Look, I understand it's football. It's always going to be aggressive. There's ways to be safe about it. And what was done was really kind of ridiculous, in my opinion.
It wasn't a necessary hold either, because all French had to do was either cut back inside, which he did. He had enough time to also take it over diagonally to the other pylon.
So instead of a touchdown.
And that was close to being an ejection. That was blatant.
I mean, that was I'm sorry. That's ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
But they're going to let him play. First and 10.
There's the pressure.
That's going to be almost a strip sack and almost an interception. I don't like that play call by Carmel. After everything went wrong on that kick return, I think you just got to slow it down with a run. That was almost an interception against the Corsairs and another injury.
It looks like that might be their QB. Might be that QB.
Pass on the play is incomplete. There is an official timeout for an injured player on both sides of the field.
It's part of the game, though. But it just sucks.
No, never good to see.
We'll stick with the action. If you're wondering the depth chart for Carmel Catholic, Johnny Weber, the starter. They've got Dominic Pavel at quarterback. And they also dressed Gondek, who plays a little quarterback in Wildcat formation.
A reminder about Saturdays, 38th graders.
He's still down, so we'll take a quick break. You're watching the 2021 presentation of the Corsairs against the Shamrocks here on SB.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
It's starting to unravel right now for Carly as we went to break. Unsportsmanlike conduct, either by the coaches or the players. Something was said to the officials, they didn't like it, and it's 15 yards against Carmel.
So it's second and forever.
Brings up second down, 25 yards to go.
So second and 25.
From there.
The 38.
Let's go, Sherman! Play smart! Come on!
Running up the gut on the QB sneak. Gondek with it. Not going to get much on it. But he finds a way to get positive yardage. Got about 10 on the QB sneak. Gondek's going to have to take the snaps, and possibly for the rest of the game, as it did not look good for Weber.
No, it didn't. That did not look good. I think Carmel needs to cool down, man. They got some energy going on. It's not good energy, if that makes sense. We already saw what happened on that kickoff, and then you have an unsportsmanlike penalty coming out after injury. That's calm down a little bit, guys.
Well, you know what? You never know what's going to happen with a backup quarterback. Sometimes it's bad, and then sometimes you get the Caleb Haney hero story.
Oh, God.
You just never know. Another Wildcat. For the Corsairs. He's brought down just shy of the 40. Here's a stat for you, Carly. Do you know
Keeps the ball in a
Who
play
has the longest passing touchdown in Eagles postseason history?
The longest passing touchdown?
Yeah.
Regular or postseason? Postseason.
About 3 yards on the play, brings up
What?
down and 5 yards.
It's probably Nick Foles.
It's not.
Okay,
Good
thank
pass.
God. I'm glad
Backup quarterback, Jeff Garcia.
Really?
I bring that up.
I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. But that was funny.
Jeff Garcia had some good years in the NFL.
You did?
You just never know with a backup quarterback.
Here we go. Fourth down. Fourth and medium.
5.
You're going to try it wrong, probably.
Maybe you do a pooch bunt, but I like the aggression here. Go for it.
And why not? We need a touchdown here.
Close. It's where the ball is, not his feet. I think it's too close to not give him the first, though.
I can't really tell. That looks like it's short to me. Where he was, it looked like it was short.
If it's short, I think Carmel is going to say some really bad words.
Well, here it is.
Okay. Now, wait. His feet were past the marker, but the ball was a little bit short. And his knee was down right at the marker. And what's weird about high school football is they automatically call you down when you take one knee. So it gets really, really tough on those plays.
Yeah, especially on no one's touching you. Especially on a fourth down play like that. It's kind of important.
So big break for St. Patrick. But really, Carmel, dug their own grave with those penalties.
Yeah.
Quarterback sneak. Just a push from this offensive line. He's got all the time in the world to switch directions.
I mean, bravo to this offensive line today. I mean, these are the stars of the game today, honestly. They're the ones creating the gaps right now for their backfield to have some room. They're creating tons of pass protection for Jermaine. I mean, he's got so much time in the pocket. And not only that, when they're able to go to, when he has to use his feet, they're creating holes for him. I mean, bravo to this offensive line. This offensive line, I mean, I'm impressed.
It's not like Carmel's just getting manhandled. It's just St. Patrick wanted it, and they took it in the trenches tonight against the Corsairs. Shotgun formation, little screen pass over to Fuller. Blockers are there. He'll go through both of them. He gets past midfield. All right, Carly, your head coach, Jace McKee. Do you send the house a couple of plays?
This is where you bring the blitz. This is where you bring the blitz. But here's the thing. I don't know if you want to do that because their secondary isn't really matching the speed that St. Pat's has. But who knows? We'll see what happens. I can see a couple blitzes coming here, though.
You got to trust in your cornerbacks, though, one-on-one coverage.
Absolutely.
Then you got no choice, though. Down 14, you can't afford to give up a field goal. Field goal would pretty much put you out of the game.
Yep.
Jermaine.
There it is.
Quarterback sneak. The pursuit is there. A gang tackle on the quarterback. By the way, Jermaine Young did not start playing quarterback until 3 years ago. Played tailback most of his life.
Tailback?
Well,
that makes me happy.
Well, the newer terminology, running back, obviously, is...
I was like, what? They're back? Same thing with the fullback. You don't see a lot of fullbacks anymore. That's an old school football. That's an old school football position. And I love it.
still use it with Kyle Juszczyk.
Well, that's about it, though. What other teams do you
Pretty
see
much.
that? I mean,
There was the Raiders used to do it with Marcel Reese.
Yes, they did. But, I mean, it's been a position, I'd say, over the past 10, 15 years. It's kind of disappeared.
You just don't need it anymore when you have single backfields.
And you also have people like Patrick Mahomes.
Gaborowski.
Oh!
A shoestring tackle. Stop the touchdown from happening.
He was gone if they didn't stop him.
But not before. The Shamrocks get another push.
Look, I haven't seen Loyola play a couple other teams in the Chicago Catholic League. But Alex Gaborowski, if he's not in the top 10 for best players in the conference, I don't want people to keep voting anymore. It's just, I've seen him 3 games now, and nobody can stop him.
I mean, he's just a force to be reckoned with back there.
And they've got other players, too, but when you have Gaborowski as the X factor,
why would you? I mean,
just creates so many mismatches. Fuller on the jet sweep.
Carmel seems to be reading that jet real well.
Now it's decision time for the Shamrocks. Do you want to get a little conservative to play for the field goal, or are you thinking 6 to really put this game away?
I mean, I want to see. Look, give me a touchdown. I want to see a touchdown. Put the game away.
For your PPR league, IHSA
Exactly.
Fantasy Football.
Yeah, IHSA Fantasy Football. Absolutely. But no, I think this could. I mean, you want to be aggressive. You don't want to be conservative ever in football unless you have like a 30-some-odd point lead. They're only up by 2 scores. There's still a whole other quarter to play.
Clock stops on a first down, too. On his back foot. Not a catch the ball. The Corsairs are not happy and not playing them.
That was a weak. I mean, that was. Hopefully they pick that up. Hopefully they pick that up. I'd like to see them pick that up.
Preliminary signals catch interference against the Corsairs.
Wow.
And that's just a killer penalty because it gives the Shamrocks 15 yards.
Why wouldn't you pick that up? Why? I mean, I was like,
He had
that's
no chance to catch that ball. Even with
No
1 foot in bounds, he still
no
couldn't caught it.
chance. I mean,
It was a really late hit, really late push, too. It
Carmel's
didn't really impact the play.
Carmel's got every right to be upset right now. That was a terrible call.
The officiating's been pretty decent tonight, but that one, no.
No bueno. No.
And that's kind of why high school football is not a spot foul. If it's a spot foul, that would have been at the 5.
Yeah.
Are down to the Carmel 16-yard line. First down.
It's hard to believe in the NFL. For 1 year, you were allowed to challenge DPI. High formation to Govorowski. What a power back.
Take them all with you, man. Why not?
I mean, at this point, you don't even need to run I formation. Just go single back. Everybody get out of the way and just let Govorowski do his thing.
Here you go.
5 yards on the play. Brings up second down and 5 yards to go.
May need a little bit of a breather, though, so I can see a pass play going here.
I just, we talk about power backs. We brought up Derrick Henry before. It's kind of amazing that Derrick Henry didn't set the NFL on fire his rookie year. You know, the first couple of years, he actually lost his job.
I know.
At tailback. And then, of course, we all know what happened to Derrick Henry's 3rd year in the NFL. But,
And I had him that year in fantasy, so I was very excited.
but man, what a player he is today. Shotgun formation, clean pocket for Young. What a catch. 1 man to beat, and he does. Gets to the pylon. Touchdown, Shamrock. Owen Lyons scores, and that might be the dagger against Carmel Catholic.
I know, we got Carmel Catholic, there's Mount Carmel, there's everything here in Illinois.
In the game of the Shamrocks.
There's Loyola Academy, Bennett Academy, the whole
Oh no, it's not Bennett, it's Benet. If you have real
Benet?
No, it's Bennett, but as a Fenwick, we always like to say Benet is coming.
So, has Fenwick ever played OPRF in football?
Oh, while I was there, no. Granted, that was a long time ago.
I wish they would. That would just be so awesome. But then again, OPRF 8A, Fenwick 6A.
Well, what's crazy is when I was at Fenwick was 4A. And then there's been a lot of changes, in IHSA rankings and how they classify schools now. They stopped basing it fully on population because a lot of the schools down in central Illinois, they were the ones that they were a lot of co-ops that were happening because a lot of the schools were shutting down because they only had 40, 50 some odd kids in the whole school. So when those co-ops happen, you have to try and balance the IHSA the best way that they can with the reclassification and then the moment. What's crazy is Fenwick was a 4A school, but playing teams like Rita and all of these people, and now they're a 6A school and they're playing a lot bigger dogs when I was there.
Tony French and number 33, Kyle Lynch.
35-14 St. Patrick. Once again, text line is open. Your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory, 330-957-7653.
What would be yours, man?
Well, I was at that NFC Championship game, Saints Bears, but the best one, I was at both Mike Brown pick 6 games.
Oh, wow.
That was the most fun year to be a Bears fan. Oh my gosh, 5 fumbles tonight for Carmel Catholic. 3 on special teams. But St. Patrick's had trouble tackled on the last couple of kickoffs.
Returning the kickoff for the Corsairs, number 17, John Buckley.
If I had to go favorite college memory,
it's got to be the Boise State game.
Out of bounds. at the Carmel 40.
You know, I didn't even think about that.
The Corsairs will take over first down. 10 yards to go from their own.
One that, I mean, I'm going to be honest, the one that I vividly remember was when Illinois made it to the Rose Bowl. I thought
On accident?
On accident. On accident. But
Appalachian State, Michigan? Appalachian
oh,
State, Michigan.
don't get me started. App State beat my Ohio Bobcats, and I was at that game in that bowl. I was very upset about it.
The Sun Belt's getting good. Look at this broken tackle by French. He gets past midfield.
Tory French, the ball carrier on the play. For the Corsairs.
The Sun Belt's getting good.
It is.
Appalachian State, Coastal Carolina still undefeated.
I mean, here's the thing. Yeah, look, everyone just likes to talk about Power 5 college football. There is a lot more to it, okay? A lot more to it. I went to a MAC school, all right? Maction football is some of the most entertaining football I've ever witnessed. Maction is everything.
Well, Ben Roethlisberger.
We don't need to talk about Miami of Ohio. No.
I'm just talking about alums.
No.
My cousin coaches them.
No, no.
Right,
Miami of Ohio.
I coach him Mount Carmel now on his back foot. St. Patrick reads it. Look at this again.
Great defense.
On a bad pass, almost caught again by Gondrak.
I mean, defensively, he's having himself a day. He's going step for step with all of these receivers. He's able to turn. The other thing is the one thing that you see a lot of with high school football players, especially because they're still trying to finesse their game a lot more. A lot of the times you forget to turn to prevent any type of PI. The last thing you want to do is not turn your head and cause a PI penalty that can be easily avoidable. And he's been doing that all night defensively. He's having a great game.
Weber's back in there. He's gutting it out. I think I would give Weber a C+ today. He's made some throws, but the accuracy is meh.
Yeah.
French getting outside the left tackle, and the pursuit was there by the Shamrocks.
Ball carrier on the play.
Leading the way that time, Nick Armenta.
In on the stop for the Shamrocks, number 30, Nick Armenta. Loss of about a yard on the play.
I'll make it 3rd and 2.
2 yards on the play. Brings up 4th down and 4 yards to go.
4th and 4. You go for it?
From their own 48-yard line.
If you punt, you have to do a lot of blitzes. Really, nothing's worked.
That's what.
Well, if you go for it, you don't make it, the game's over. So if you punt, there's still a chance. You pin them deep, and you can get the ball back, and you can win the field position battle.
I like this gutsy call.
They almost got it last time they went for it on 4th. See if they go with the same play call. A little post route. Slant. Gondak's got some room to run. Breaks through a tackle. Gets past the 35-yard line. You know what? I like the conservative defense because the only way that Carmel Catholic could really get you to think about it is if it's a fly route touchdown, a quick score.
Right. I don't think they were trying to do that, though. I think what they're trying to do is just move the ball efficiently right now. They just want to get the red zone.
And especially St. Patrick knows, look, if we kick the ball back to Carmel, there's a chance they're going to fumble it again.
That's very true.
It was outside the tackle box. A wide receiver was within 10 yards, so that should not be intentional grounding. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I thought if they were going to call that, I'm like, come on, man.
You know what's crazy, though? We brought up intentional grounding in Fenwick. It actually happened at the NCAA Division I level.
It did.
On an untimed 4th down.
I remember that. Want to know what's so funny is when that happened. I'll never forget when that happened. It made national news when Fenwick decided to go to the IHSA. I was like, you know what, Fenwick? I appreciate y'all sticking up for your kids and doing what you can. But I'm sorry, the game is over. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's so strange though because it was literally wrong, and it literally led to Plainfield North being back into the game.
I know.
It wasn't like it was like a defensive pass interference or a hold. It was literally it allowed Plainfield North.
Yeah.
It wasn't a subjective call. It was literally wrong.
It was, it's just a wrong call. But you know what? Here's the thing. People always want to say they want to see robot umpires, robot refs, automated everything. But I'm like, look, here's the one thing, though. I will say is the refs provide a human aspect. They're going to let you slide a little bit more when, if they'll let hand fighting happen a lot more than, you put a robot out there for AI.
3rd and 2 coming up. Blitz coming for St. Patrick. Screen out to the right. Galvarowski misses the tackle, but he's brought down short of the first down marker.
Number 23.
Time getting it over to James Murphy.
10 on the stop for the Shamrocks.
Another fourth down.
Number 75, Kevin Ward.
If you trust in your kicker, you could do a kick and then an onside kick.
No gain on the
It's too short. You got to go for it.
Yeah.
If it was 4th and 5, I would consider the field goal.
Yard line.
And remember, they're high school kids, so we know an onside kick would be happening after a field goal, but the players might not.
That's very
true. You might
true.
be able to sneak an onside kick after you score to make it 35-17.
And how about the fact that the third quarter's almost over? Look at that. Look at how much. I mean, St. Pat has been controlling the clock all game.
Carmel just can't run the ball, so even on 4th and 2, they're probably going to have to pass it again. Pressure comes on the blitz. Weber, nowhere to go. Galvarowski with the sack. This might be St. Pat's best game of the season. Very impressive.
I mean, this is a very impressive St. Patrick football team right now. Very impressive St. Patrick football team.
The Corsairs will turn the ball over.
It just shows you don't think special teams is important until it is. It just
You know
seems
that? Have you seen? You've seen that hashtag? I mean, how many times do you say in a game hashtag Bears special teams because of some of the just poor decisions that have been made recently? No, I like what the special teams is doing with the Bears, but I mean, special teams. There's a reason it exists.
It just seemed like Carmel Catholic looked shell-shocked after they fumbled on the opening kick, and they just really didn't recover from it. Weber made some throws, but when you fumble on the opening kick and it's 1st and 10 for the Shamrocks at the 12-yard line, it's just like, what the heck just happened? And then Galvarowski 12-yard rushing touchdown, you're already down 7-0.
2 fumbles in 2 plays. I mean, that's going to kill you regardless. They've had now, what, 5 turnovers? 5 total turnovers. I mean,
just can't do it.
You can't do it. I'm sorry. Winning the turnover battle will 9 times out of 10 win you the football game. I don't know, said baseball game. It's October. You know, baseball season's come to a close, but
White Sox baseball.
And that will be the end of the
third quarter. It's Shamrocks 35. Corsairs 14. We'll be back after this.
St. Patrick Shamrocks.
Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense. And Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and it's goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world.
(35-14), 12 minutes remaining. New quarter beginning. And possibly a win coming out for St. Patrick.
If St. Pat's continues to do what they've done all the game and just control the time of possession, this is going to be an easy win for the Shamrocks. But don't get lazy.
Just don't fumble the football.
Boom.
And that they got the right man carrying the ball. He never fumbles. Jermaine Young.
Keeps the ball.
Don't put that energy out there, though. You say that, I mean, broadcasters cursed. You don't want to do that.
Number 7, Matt Ortega.
You know what? I always believed in curses, and then when Kevin the Hawk Harrelson was talking about the perfect game, like for 2 innings, and then Burley still threw it.
But that's Mark Burley. That's Mark Burley.
Well, it's still weird, though, because Burley would never throw it above 90 miles an hour. So it was like the strangest perfect game you would ever see in your life. He would have like 7 strikeouts on an 82-mile-an-hour curveball.
I don't think people understand you don't need to be throwing gas to do well. I'm sorry. Like,
I get it, but it is strange when you see Verlander throwing 102 in the ninth inning, and Burley's throwing at 85. That's a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Well, that's exactly what St. Pat's wants to do. Bleed the clock, don't turn the ball over, and force the Corsairs to go right down the field.
Yeah, exactly.
And on the stop for the Corsairs, number 8.
This has been a good game, though. I will say it's been like outside of what we witnessed at the start of the third quarter. It's been a pretty good, pretty clean game so far. Yeah, it's been some small mistakes, but I mean, it's not been anything drastic. We had the one penalty of the PI, but.
Yeah, and then the kick return.
But again, that was the beginning of the third quarter. Emotions, I understand it. I got control a little bit more.
2nd and 11. Screen pass, dangerous one. He's double teamed. Is Fuller? He fumbled.
No way.
Oh my goodness.
That's not a fumble. I thought he was down.
On the play number 23. Jack Fuller is ruled down.
Did you see a knee down, Carly? I didn't see it.
I thought I saw something. Looks like they're going to make a third down.
Correction, the 44-yard line.
Now, what I don't like about that, even if his knee was down, you have to play it out. Let him pick it up and do a little, strip and touchdown the other way.
Yeah.
Strip and score. And then you talk it over and you say, sorry, his knee was down. And I think Carmel would be fine with that, but when you blew it dead right away...
Gotta let. I agree. That's a valid point. But I did say broadcaster's curse. There was the turnover.
There it is. That would have put Carmel right back in the game. Pressure comes. Screen pass. Delivered out to Wozni. Blocking back coming up against St. Patrick. Wozny's got space, but it's coming back. So Wozni, all he's going to get is a smelly jersey.
Yeah, I know, man.
And some Gatorade soon. He's just tired.
I mean, that was a pretty obvious block in the back. That's unfortunate for St. Pat's, but I mean, it happened.
The old adage is in football. Why did he have that open of a lane?
If it's that open, normally something happens. That's about right. It's a good call. They declined it? Oh,
there was 2.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute, Carmel, what are you doing?
There was a hold and a block in the back.
Okay.
The ultimate cheat.
There you go.
Hey, if you think the officials didn't see it. Sometimes that's a little bit, you get out of place.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit antsy, like, I just got to touch that jersey and hold it down. Sometimes you got to trust your teammate.
Exactly.
Just let him run the ball. If he gains 5 yards, that's better than being back 15 yards.
This is a team sport after all. Everyone's got to be in their spot. Everyone's got to do the right thing for it to be successful. For the team to be successful.
Trust your teammates. Trust is a must. Your game is a bust.
You're out here with all these quotes and sayings. I'm here for it.
This ain't my first rodeo, Carly. Runs out to the left. Wozney's going to be brought down at the original line of scrimmage.
In on the stop for Carmel, number 13, Harlan May.
Got new team, new players still now.
4 yards on the play.
Strange because it's 3rd and 16, not 4th and 16. Oh, it is 4th down. Okay, they didn't update it on the scoreboard. So it is 4th down, so that's why they put new players on for the punt.
Back to receive for Carmel.
All that St. Patrick needs is a good snap. You want a good punt too, but just don't have a bad snap.
It's very true.
Good snap. Kick is up, and it's okay. A little line drive kick. Maybe take it 32, another fumble. French fumble. 6 fumbles on the day, 4 on special teams.
I can tell you right now what Carmel's going to be practicing on Monday.
That was Team Nick. Team Nick, make sure you say Team Nick.
And on the stop for the Shamrocks, number 30.
Look, this happens. I remember I was at a Bears game. Bobby Wade fumbled like 3 or 4 punts. It happens to the pros.
But,
It's not good, though.
This is 6.
6, 4 on special teams. Actually, it was 7 because the original kick 2 people fumbled it.
Yeah, that's true.
Then they eventually recovered it.
Yeah. I mean, well, here we go. All right, Carmel. Are you going to make this interesting? Or is it going to be another 3-and-out?
To make it interesting, they got to go no huddle. You got to score 3 times. If you go with a huddle, you almost have to do the onside kick because it's going to take you so long. Weber in the pocket. Open man. That's just been kind of the story for Weber today. A little behind, and it creates a tight window, and tough for your wide receiver to catch it.
Yeah, not the best pass there, but a good look, good read for sure. He was there, and he was right on the sidelines too. Great way to stop the clock and keep So you're able to huddle, you're able to, still maintain control of the clock and move down the field in a way that you still have some time left.
What would we rename football since soccer technically is football? Just call it rhythm ball, because that's what football literally is, right? You want your quarterback to be in rhythm with the wide receiver. You want the ball in stride.
That's very true.
In front, not to the side. I think that's really what football is. It's possessions and rhythm.
Rhythm ball sounds like an exercise class that you would take.
Out to French, little screen action. That's exactly what St. Pat's want. Almost another fumble as St. Pat's goes after the strip.
Can't be taken down either, man.
St. Pat's got the ball.
Takes the screen pass for the Corsairs.
Now some pushing and shoving after the fact.
Come on, guys. I understand, but, don't do
And on
that.
the stop for the Shamrocks. Number 4.
You're not helping anybody doing that. I'm sorry, you're not. If anything, you're hurting yourselves. Don't do that.
Gets heated out there. It's a tough sport.
That game is good enough for a Carmel first down, 10 yards to go.
Look, you'd like to see a little bit of urgency from Carmel. They're down 3 scores. I know you want to make sure it's in rhythm, but you got to score 3 times in 9 minutes. Good snap. They're going to go for the deep ball. Double coverage is there.
He could have caught that.
If he had dove, possibly, but I think he was thinking, hey, if I catch this, we're deep in the 20. Maybe force them to do it again on 3rd and 10.
That's a good call, Good call.
Because then Carmel, even though it's a pick, they would technically be winning the field position battle.
Yeah, that is true. Very good point. Very good point. Very good point. All right, this is kind of a game right here for Carmel.
Well, it's 4-down territory regardless. You just can't fumble the football. I know that's the most stereotypical answer to what Carmel did wrong tonight, but you just can't fumble it 6 times.
Yeah, just hold on to it, guys.
You can also just call fair catches on the kick returns if it's that bad. Here's a quarterback sneak from Weber.
Wide open.
Weber's going to get to the 1st down marker, and he'll get out of bounds. Great run by Weber.
Great. I mean, you can kind of see some life coming back to Carmel here. You can tell they don't want to get shut out. They want to make this interesting.
Problem is because the defense hasn't been great, a field goal does you no good.
No.
Defense had been okay. You could consider 3 in an onside kick. Now you got to get 6.
Yeah, you got to get a touchdown here.
You got 3 timeouts, so if you can score in the next 4 minutes, you could theoretically kick it back to St. Pat's. Clean pocket. Got a man. And good job being it over to Murphy.
They're hugging the sidelines, too, as you would. Stop the clock as much as you can. Stop the clock as much as you can to control. That was a nice game, too, gain of about 7.
And the reason why St. Pat's isn't playing the sideline as much is because they've been beat so much on the fly route. They have to have men back, with the over-the-top coverage, make sure there's nothing on the sideline. Blitz comes. Weber with a stiff arm. Weber still on his feet. Gets out to the right. Weber, who was injured earlier in the game at the 40, breaks through a tackle. Finally brought down to the 38. What a stiff arm by Weber.
Push it out there. That was unbelievable. And he should have, that should have been a sack. And he was able to avoid it. He escaped it. He was able to turn it into positive yardage and a 1st down. Unbelievable. Bravo, Weber. That's a fight right there. That's what that is. That's a fight.
Clock's still St. Pat's friend, but you would like to force them to score in the next 4 minutes or so. We'll call a face mask against St. Pat's as well. Now that helps Carmel, obviously. What do you think, Carly? Should you consider a blitz or just have them keep doing these little dump and dives and have the clock change?
If I'm St. Pat's, when you got 3-score lead with 8 minutes, I wouldn't blitz. Just kind of let. Why not? Take care of the sideline. And who knows? Here's the thing: if they're able to score with 8 minutes left, they're going to kick it back to you. If you put that extra touchdown on the board, you put the trust in your offense, then the game's locked and loaded and sealed up and tied in a nice little bow.
Almost not getting it done on defense today. Weber tries to break through that one. Can't. Goldorowski, the all-conference linebacker running back, does it again.
It's unbelievable, man. He's having himself a game.
Wow. That was a team effort. That was 3 men on Weber that
There's a
time.
loss of 5 yards on the play, brings up second down and 15 yards to go for the Corsairs from the Shamrock 29-yard line.
Time is a factor with 7:40 remaining. If you give up another sack, you have to go no auto and just get back to the line of scrimmage.
1,000%.
Steps into it. Good pass, drop. That's on the receiver. That should have been caught.
That was a good pass, too. It was right there. It just flew right through his hands.
Pass on the play. Intended for number 9, Davion Reynolds is incomplete.
Reynolds got good size, too. 6 foot even. Went through his hands.
For the Corsairs.
Legitimate. I mean, that was a good pass. That was a very good pass. He was wide open. It was a touchdown.
It was right at the head. Got to catch it.
You got to catch it. That's on the receiver right there. Now, here's the ball game right here.
3rd 14.
If I'm Carmel, just try and get the first down. Don't worry about scoring. Just get the first down.
Yeah, 4 down territory regardless, so you don't need to get all 14.
You want to make it at least a manageable 4th down. Try not to get sacked again, for sure.
If you're St. Pat's, you could bring a blitz here if you want.
Be interesting.
They're going to go with the front 4. And, yeah, that time was not a good pass. Like Gondek.
Corey French, correction number 6.
It's a ball game right here.
Gondek is incomplete.
What do you think, hook and ladder?
Throw it deep. Why not? You need a touchdown. You need a touchdown. Throw it to the end zone.
For the Corsairs, from the Shamrock.
You don't have enough time, in my opinion, 7.5 minutes, and you know that what St. Pat's is going to do, they're going to run the ball, and they're not going to take, I mean, yeah, you can call timeouts, but if you're able to score here, then you kick it to them and call your timeouts.
You could do an onside kick if you want.
You could. We saw that squib earlier, but
wasn't a good one.
No, I don't know if they want to do that.
Yeah, you got to do the perfect onside kick is one that flops up in the air and you get it out to the sideline. Pressure comes. Weber steps up. He's got to beat a man to get the first, and he does it. Beautiful. Open field tackle by the Shamrocks. And that should do it for Carmel Catholic tonight. Delivered on the tackle by P.J. Summers.
That gain is short of the line to gain for first down.
The offense stole the show tonight for St. Patrick, but the defense in the second half made the adjustments and made Weber and Gondek's line very terrible in the pocket.
Oh, absolutely. You can tell that was a big talking point at halftime. They're like, look, you can't let them get back in this game. You've got to make this difficult for them. And that's 1,000% what they did. They were bringing the pressure. They brought the blitz a couple times. They were able to get to him. But the one thing that I will give Weber credit for is that he was elusive on a few plays. He's got good feet. He's got good speed. He can do some good things if he can get some more pass protection, honestly.
I don't think he's going to get any more better pass protection than he had tonight. This is the best he's going to have all season long. Little pass up the middle. Time to Wozni. Player of the game when they beat Marion Central Catholic. That was a humongous win.
Yeah, how was that game? What was that game like? What was the energy there?
So they came back. The Shamrocks were down 20-7. And they took the lead 27-20. Now Marion Central let them score with 1:30 to go.
That's smart.
It was smart because that made it 27-20. And then St. Pat's missed the extra point. So Marion Central got it all the way down to the 30. And then Brandon Hernan threw a bad pick on a out route, and that did it. Wozni had the interception. He plays on both sides of the ball. But
see that a lot in Chicago Catholic League, and I love it.
2nd and 5. St. Pat's just going to bleed that clock. Probably are not going to see Goborowski again run it unless it gets close. Save him for next week.
Yeah, may as well. Get your Gatorade. Sir, you've had yourself one heck of a game, man. I mean, I am fully impressed by what he can do on the 29-yard line. What he can do as a running back is unbelievable.
It's not the craftiest style. It's just get the ball and attack.
He's an old school power back, and I love it. And that's the type of football that, I'm sorry, it's just fun to watch. It just is.
So the old Le'Veon Bell style, did that kind of put you to sleep where he would wait 2 seconds?
Yeah.
And then hit the hole?
You mean what Tariq Cohen does sometimes now? Yeah. Look, I get it. I understand it. I understand you want to show off your footwork. And the other thing is here's the other thing. Le'Veon Bell's a lot
Number
shorter.
22,
When
Sherwood,
you're dealing
that
with
brings
shorter
up fourth down.
running backs,
There's no gain on the play,
it makes a
fourth
lot
down.
more sense to do
4
that
yards
because
to
you have a
go
lower center of
for the
gravity and you're
Shamrocks
able
from
to move your
the
feet a lot
29
faster.
yard line.
Do those
Into
jukes and
the game, the
have
punt
more flexibility
for
with
the
your footwork.
Shamrocks.
When you're dealing with a
Number
big dude
8,
like him,
Jermaine
he doesn't really,
Young.
I would like to see
Back
him
to
prove me
receive.
wrong, but I mean, it's a
For the
lot harder for those
Corsairs,
bigger
number 2,
dudes
Torrey
in a running
French.
back position, you know, to move your feet that well.
Well, in his prime, Le'Veon Bell, great vision. He also had excellent offensive line players.
Oh,
in
my
Pittsburgh,
goodness. Unbelievable.
with Pouncey and Villanueva.
All right. I would like to see Carmel try and put some points on the board. If
So
they
for
can.
St. Pat's, you go with a cover 2 or a cover 3 defense?
By the Shamrocks.
Just bring freshmen out there. Let them have fun.
Corsair.
That's what I would do.
Do whatever.
Do whatever you want. Just go out there, have fun.
The Corsairs will
We have
take
three,
over
I mean, I don't see 3
10
scores
yards.
Just
happening.
have fun out there, juice boxes and orange slices for everybody.
Get your fruit snacks, your Doritos. Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, here's the thing. If I was
Another shout
them,
out to our senior golfers.
I do. Put them into a zone
Emilio
coverage.
Lee.
As a former basketball player, it's such a cardio-intensive sport.
Yes.
What's like the worst thing you eat that your coach has told you never to eat?
Well, see, I was 30 pounds lighter and at 6 foot tall. Like I was a rail when I played. I was 110 pounds and 6 feet. You know, like they're just like eat anything. They're like just get some.
Here's a $5 gift certificate to Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Have yourself a day.
Exactly, like get some, like, you know, I had an insanely fast metabolism, and I still do, but like, I mean, it's unbelievable. And the thing is, people would laugh at me. They're like, Carly, you're eating. I know I am. I'm just not going anywhere.
Aren't you in training? No, like I'm underweight.
Underweight.
I gotta get some carbs.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing though that still, if I hear it called now, it just bothers me. If anyone asks to run a champion, it's like ultimate PTSD. That is the hands down worst punishment I've ever had was running champion. That was awful. I apologize to any basketball players listening, and I apologize if I just triggered you there. With that, I'm very sorry.
I think what Coach McKee is going to do this week in practice, he's going to put super glue on his wide receiver's hands.
Get spider tack.
No, hey, we're not going to go the spider tack rabbit hole tonight. That's really been the problem. Some of these passes by Weber right on the money, and they're just not catching the football.
And then, you know, dropping the ball 7 times. That didn't
help. Fumbles too. Can't do it.
Legitimately, the main problem of the game is that they have not been able to hold on to the ball in any facet, offensively, defensively, on special teams.
Yeah, special teams was just a disaster.
I mean, unbelievable. However, I will say this: the few shining spots that we've seen out of Carmel, they got they have a lot of speed on the outside, and I can see. I just think they need a little bit more work. And I think the other thing is, I know everyone likes to say that this is McKee's second year. In reality, this is more of his first year. 2020 was just, I like to scrap it and throw it out the window. There wasn't even a state champion. We weren't even playing full.
It wasn't like
season.
The real weather because it's not that
You're
cold.
playing in March. I know exactly.
When you play in September and October, it's never that cold.
I will say this if this is what he's producing with his first year, I'm impressed. This is not a bad thing to be. I mean, St. Pat's is just dominating. I'm sorry. You drop the ball. St. Pat's is going to. The thing is, every turnover, St. Pat's made it. Every single turnover.
And really, the story of this game, some really bad penalties, too, by the Corsairs, including on that kick return. Look, that would have been 28-21.
It's very true.
Who knows what would have happened? It was an unnecessary hold as the kicker was out of the play anyways. There we go, right on stride. That stops the clock. You got to score the next minute, though, so you got to go no huddle, and you got to start taking some shots at the end zone.
Remember, they still have 3 timeouts, too, if they really want to call them, they can.
Well, unless you can score in the next 30 seconds, it's going to be an onside kick no matter what.
Oh, absolutely.
21-yard line.
And we found out with Brandon Bostic. An onside kick.
Oh, my God.
It's never
you're
a sure
bringing
thing.
back some. Oh, my goodness.
You know what?
Some memories you're bringing back here, man.
The Packers, even with Brandon Bostic, it's a shotgun formation for Weber. He'll step in. He's got a man open, and he overthrows him.
Interception.
And he got a foot down. He did not.
Pass complete.
Fans don't like it, but I think his foot was touching that white line.
Is incomplete.
Good defensive coverage. Again, look, what St. Pat's is producing. I mean, look, I witnessed some early 2000s and 2010s St. Pat's football. This is a completely different program. It just seems more. I hate using the word unified, but that's kind of.
It is a unified team. It
you know
really
what I
is.
mean?
Everybody contributes. Now you got Govorowski, so that helps. But
yeah.
Jermaine Young does it. The offensive line does. Here's a sack for the Shamrocks.
Now there is. He's elusive, man. I will say that. He's found his way out of a couple.
For a guy dealing with a knee injury, pretty impressive. No choice but for Carmel Catholic to take a timeout. So we'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the 2021 presentation of the Corsairs against the Shamrocks here on SBS.
8 yards on the
Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world.
Registration will open 3 weeks prior to the exam.
3:23 remaining.
To the St. Pat's social media sites for more information.
Carmel Catholic.
The admissions team. With
third and forever.
They had their chances in this game. Got to catch the football. Can't fumble it, and you can't commit still silly penalties. 3rd and 17. Also got to score 3 times in 3 minutes. Weber steps up. He's got a man. He gets it over to his favorite target in John Buckley.
Bravo to the St. Pat's defense trying to keep him in bounds, but he was a little too strong to take him out of bounds. Stops the clock yet again. They score a touchdown here.
And high school, you can do the old style onside kick where you would have half the players on the left, half the players on the right. You know, I brought up Brandon Bostic, and I want to be fair to him because really, the person who blew that Packers game was not Brandon Bostic. It was Clinton Dix for not knocking that darn ball down when Russell Wilson threw that Hail Mary on the 2-point conversion. 4th and short, got a man. It's going to be a touchdown for Carmel. As he got the ball across the pylon before he lost it. And you could go for 2 if you want, but I think they're just going to be safe and do the extra point.
May as well.
John Buckley, and he's in the end zone for a Corsair touchdown. Into the game for the Corsairs to attempt the extra point, number 10.
Carly, have you heard the new rules that they're thinking about for the NFL? Instead of having the onside kick, you would get the ball back 4th and 20 at your own 10.
Oh, come on.
Instead of doing it, because it's like less than 10% successful on onside kicks now in the NFL.
So, that doesn't mean you just get rid of them. Look, I understand that what a lot of here's the thing. What a lot of these pro leagues are doing, specifically the MLB, they want to try and make it. They want to make the games faster because they want to get viewership up and things like that. I'm like, regardless, no matter what, even if you're trying to make the game faster or you're doing it solely for viewership or you want to get more eyes on your sport, getting rid of rules or just making up new ones is not the way to go, in my opinion. Like.
Would you want to bring back the old rules of the onside kick? The reason why they changed the rules was for safety.
I understand. Look, I understand. Here's the thing: when you have reached the level of the NFL, you've already been playing football minimum 6 years. Minimum.
Probably been playing since you were 8 years old.
Probably been playing a lot longer. Sorry, it wasn't the NFL hitting you in the head. It was poor. The other thing, I truly believe that there should be a rule. You should not be able to allow. You should not have your kids be playing tackle football before the age of 14, in my opinion. Because all you can teach tackling and that in high school. when you're dealing with kids who are in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, middle school and beyond, those are really formative years, especially for the brain. And if you're having those kids tackling, and the other thing is that those helmets are never really made for kids that smart. Have them play flag for as long as they can, just so they can learn the game. And then work on technique. Once you hit granted, high school's still a developmental age, but you have a lot more control.
A lot more brain development.
Exactly. That's my own personal opinion, though.
This does not look like an onside kick, and if it is an onside kick, it's the most deceptive one I've ever seen. Here it is. Bad one. Easy recovery for St. Pat's. The onside kick's so tough because you got to get on the side of your foot.
That onside kick.
It's got to get that little jump bounce.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say this for a high school onside kick. If that's your first or second try, not bad.
Sometimes,
you at least got it for 10 yards.
Sometimes the best onside kick is the best onside kick is the old Pat McAfee onside kick where you do a little light kick. And
One of the best kickers in the game, hands down. I love Pat McAfee. You want to know why? It's because he let people have fun. He showed that people can have fun, man. It's just, let him play.
He can hit too.
Yo!
Tristan Holiday, watch out. He was an athlete, man.
Yes, he was. All right, St. Pat.
1st and 10, just don't fumble the ball.
Yep, just run it.
Gonna run it up the gut. It's time to Wozni as Gaborowski's day is most likely done.
Ball carry for the Shamrocks on that play.
We gave him the game ball too, Carly. I kind of want to just give it to everybody on the St. Pat's team. Everybody did something to contribute today.
No, you give it to Forrest. You give it to number 44 right there. I'm sorry. I have been thoroughly impressed with everything that he's done on both sides of the ball. Thoroughly impressed with everything he's done.
So we've seen him for 3 games, so we can't keep giving him the game ball.
That's true. You know what? No. You want to know who I'm going to give the game ball to? That entire offensive line. That's who I'm going to give the game ball to. Because I don't think Jermaine's been sacked all game. I don't.
If it is, it was a covered sack.
Exactly. And so, what they've done is unbelievable.
Carmel trying to get that ball. He's still alive. Gaborowski has it. Powers through a tackle, and he's brought down inside the 30.
I guess he's not done yet. They're going to let him play a little bit longer. Why not?
Put the icing on the cake, put it into the hands of 44, and have him do the rest.
At the Carmel 31-yard line, that gain is good enough for another first down. 10 yards to go.
Here's where I said on a sportsmanship level. I appreciate it. That's a great run. Don't beat it into the ground. You know what I mean? There's no real need for you to score a touchdown here, St. Pat's. If you want to, go ahead. But
and they might honestly let you score because they would get the ball back. But
yeah, but not the smartest idea by Carmel. Even though if you want the, you got
score.
What? All right.
Gaborowski scores as it was a clean hole that looked like the secondary allowed to score. 41-21. Carmel getting the ball back one more time tonight.
Into the game.
This St. Pat's team is doing. Talk about a huge win for the St. Pat's team. This is something that they truly needed.
We're going to find out how good this St. Pat's team is when Loyola comes to town.
Exactly.
Missed it.
The point after touchdown is no good.
Loyola, man, they've been a powerhouse for
here in the game. Triton Stadium. The score is now the Shamrocks 41.
I don't see them dying down anytime soon. I really don't.
It's here.
That program is unbelievable. Even when I was in high school, that program was. I'll never forget. Fenwick played Loyola when I was like a sophomore or junior in high school. At halftime, it was 40-0. It's unbelievable what Loyola's done over there.
So what were the Fenwick OPRF basketball games like?
When I played them, we only played them like I hate saying in our non-conference preseason because it was.
You didn't even play them in the regular season?
No, I mean you have to remember it's public league against Chicago Catholic League.
So Oak Park against Oak Park, you gotta play.
But if I'm gonna be honest, the biggest rival for Fenwick basketball-wise, at least on the girls' side, was Trinity. when I was
I can understand
was
that.
Trinity. Trinity was and Bishop Mack. That was another school that they just bothered me. I also didn't like that it was all the way in Kankakee. Like, those are long bus rides. But
it's not exactly down the street.
no, and what was really unfortunate for me with that game was that was the only game my parents couldn't make it to, so I had to bus there and bus back.
Should have just called St. Sports Broadcast Solutions. We would have broadcast.
That's true, I could have.
41-21. It's going to be a kickoff for Carmel Catholic. And first things first, catch the ball.
Yeah, please. No more fumbles. Carmel, come on, I'm rooting for you here.
Squib kick. It's going to be tough to catch that. Oh my gosh, again. Mishandled ball has been the story of the game today.
He's got room on the outside. That
might be, but it looked like he was at the sideline when they pushed it.
Yeah, maybe
John Buckley's pushed out of bounds.
They
can't catch it, Carly, but once they get to the sideline, they got a chance to score.
It's
like the third time they've gotten to the 40-yard line or more on kick returns.
If you held on to the ball first, you might go a little bit farther. Look.
From their own 45.
Sorry, you can't be successful on a football field if you're not having the football. You can't even hold it. I mean, it's a problem.
The one thing about a fumble, though, is when you're on a kick return, you're used to going your lane, right?
Yeah.
And when a fumble, it kind of creates new lanes and everything's kind of going out of sorts.
Exactly.
So sometimes that can help the kick return. You don't do that
on
purpose, but it can create some disbobblement for your kick return.
Disbobblement. I like that word.
Steps up into the pocket. Going to be hit from behind. Fumble. Picked up by Carmel. It's backyard football tonight for the Corsairs.
Johnny Weber fumbles the ball on the play after being hit by...
It's got to be an IHSA record for fumbles. If it's not a record, it's got to be in the top 10.
Timeout?
Timeout called by Carmel. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the Corsairs against the Shamrocks here on SB.
4 years at St. Ignatius College Prep means 720 days of walking into a cornerstone of Chicago's history, engaging with over 1,450 students from all over the city and state. If you were to imagine those 4 years by combining all the individual moments into days lived, what can it boil down to?
Time spent riding public transportation adds up to 30 days, moving outside your comfort zone, expanding your horizons.
You'll devote a sum of 78 days to competing on the track, field, court, on the ice, or in the pool. 8 days cheering on the Wolfpack, becoming part of something larger than yourself.
37 days singing and dancing on stage.
Coming off the timeout, 1:27 remaining in the game, 2nd and 8 for Carmel. Down by 20. We need 3 touchdowns and a couple of onside kicks. Rolls out to the right, no flag. As cover 3 defense by St. Patrick.
I love listening to parents here. They get so mad. I'm like, guys, you're up by 20 points.
Look, we were doing the St. Ignatius De La Salle game last night.
Yeah.
They were up 35-0 on the Meteors.
Yeah.
Fans booed when St. Ignatius gave up a defense. But they put in their backups because it's 35-0. It's big for them.
Ooh, I get it. With Ignatius, though, I do understand it. But at the same time, I'm like, come on,
this is big for them.
That's called sportsmanship from the coaching staff. That's what I appreciate.
Well, that was the fans, though. It wasn't the coaches. But
whatever. Fans think they're always coaches.
The fans. There's always an armchair quarterback who's better than the regular quarterback, right?
Yeah, always. They're letting the clock roll. Yep.
Did not get the first, so Carmel's going to have to hustle to the ball.
60 seconds and counting.
Going to probably have to do a Hail Mary here. Good snap. Gondak into the game now.
Or just run.
Got to get out of bounds, and he will. Stops the clock with 49 seconds. What do you think, a Hail Mary here?
For the Corsairs.
Yeah, why not?
Number 6.
Why not? I want to see it.
Mathematically speaking, if it's successful, which it won't be, but if it is, you do the onside kick, maybe it knocks off a St. Pat's player. I don't know.
You're just coming up with, you're going out there for some reaches.
I told you. I was at that Bears-Browns game. Less than a minute to go. Shane Matthews with the touchdown pass to Marty Booker. Onside kick, and then Shane Matthews, the Hail Mary, James Allen caught it.
Marty
and then the pick six by Mike Brown ran right into the locker room. You never know in football.
Well, that doesn't help.
That does not help. It stops the clock. 3rd and 1 for the Corsairs.
Brings up 4th down and a yard to go.
4th down.
For the Corsairs.
That's scoreboard.
That's
4th and 1.
7-yard line.
Sometimes Dak Travis can get really glitchy too, so it's not.
Yeah, that's very true. Well,
can't run the ball, so either a hook and ladder or a Hail Mary.
Yeah, just throw it. And if it doesn't, then, St. Pat's will take the knee and get the dub.
It's all right. Everybody's a winner, and we'll all play Fortnite after the game.
I've been on an Among Us. I got back onto Among Us recently. Oh, yes.
That will stop the clock on the 1st down. Gondak finally goes into contact with 38 seconds remaining. I don't know what's going on with Carmel. Do you have any idea why they keep fumbling the football?
I have no idea. I'm just sitting here. I'm actually amazed that you can fumble the ball this much in a game and still play.
It hasn't rained for 2 hours.
I know. Where's this big storm that they were talking about?
As you say, that's probably going to rain in post-game interview. Wide open man. Went to the wrong guy. Picked off by St. Pat's. And he'll just take a knee. Fuller catches it. And St. Pat's is going to win on senior night.
Those fans were so mad they took the knee. I'm like, come on.
Wait, what?
There were some fans who were like, why you take the knee? I'm like, it's a ball game. The game's over.
Well, you do it because you don't want people to get hurt.
Yeah, the game's over.
Yeah.
Game's over. Don't do that to them. That's not nice. It's level sportsmanship, man, and I appreciate it. Bravo, St. Pat's. Because I've seen
some of that might just be for fun.
That too. I've seen some schools, man, that they. I'll never forget a cover game. I'm not going to say which school.
Zero tolerance now. When I was at the sectional at St. Ignatius, literally they would have ushers.
Oh wait,
right down the riser, so there's going back, blocking the back against St. Ignatius. St. Ignatius, St. Patrick. We do too many St. Ignatius games.
A lot of Catholic League, man. A lot of Catholic League.
That is going to be a full house. Finally, we got St. Ignatius. Last game of the season at St. Ignatius.
Now what?
Victory formation.
I was about to. I heard whistles blow. I was like, did someone call timeout?
Takes a knee.
Jermaine Young takes a knee for the
Carmel
Shamrocks.
Catholic still deciding if they want to call timeout.
Oh,
and they finally won't, and that will do it for the game. Shamrocks win 41-21 over the Corsairs. Carly, final thoughts before we go to our post-game interview.
St. Pat's is honestly one of this is some of the best St. Pat's football I've seen in probably 10 years. There's just chemistry, there's unity between them, and I think Carmel, with this being, I will say that this is his first year. This is not a bad team. It's not. You can't fumble the football, and the thing is, this is a team that I think give them a little bit more love, a little bit more. I mean, they had no time to practice last year. I mean, they were pretty young. I mean, look, give them a little bit of love, and they can do something special. I'm excited to see what St. Pat's can do. I'm going to call that they're going to be a sleeper in the playoffs.
Any chance they can beat Loyola?
No.
No?
Prove me wrong, St. Pat's, though. I don't see
it's here.
I know. Prove me wrong, St. Pat's.
You'll be at that game, right?
I will, but I just, it's just like
the Ramblers will keep rumbling into the playoffs.
It's Loyola, man. I'm sorry. Prove me wrong, St. Pat's. I'd love to see you prove me wrong and make it a really competitive game. But, I mean, you're playing against an 8A program. So,
St. Pat's is 6A or 7A this year?
I think they're well, remember, that could change in playoffs. It's happened in the past with some schools where that happened a couple of years ago with Rochester High School down in Springfield, Illinois. They are a 4A school, but because of how some of of who made playoffs and who didn't, they actually had to move up a class to fill a spot. So, I mean, who knows? They could play 7A. But anytime an 8A program plays anything outside of an 8A program, it's really hard to beat an 8A program.
So we'll see how they do against Loyola. We might be broadcasting next week's game against Fenwick. We'll see. But for now, definitely Loyola and possibly on Friday. So we'll take a break. Post-game interviews might be the entire offensive line for St. Pat's. We'll see who Carly chooses. We'll take a break. You're watching the Shamrocks against the Corsairs here on SBS.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to try something new. I know we've done a lot of cool videos with should the White Sox trade for Mike Trout and what should the Bears do with Justin Fields in Week 1. And we like what Flemlo Raps does, but sometimes he doesn't do the athletes that I want to see. So I thought I would answer the question, what happened to David Gerard? And here goes.
It's never easy to play the quarterback position at the NFL level. Couple that with being abnormally large for the position and dealing with Crohn's disease, and you have the very underrated career of David Gerard. What makes Gerard's college and NFL career so interesting is nothing came easy for him. He seemed to be a tight end who was actually playing QB. Remember, he was around 240 pounds when he stepped on East Carolina University's campus, but as we later found out, there simply wasn't anything that Gerard couldn't do. The only issue was his ball placement and accuracy, but I'm getting ahead of myself. When looking at the career of Gerard, you always think of two words: never quit. Gerard wasn't the fastest, and he certainly looked too big to play QB. The former Jaguars quarterback sometimes reminded me of Jared Lorenzen, but when the Jacksonville Jaguars needed a big play, Gerard would give you that Cinderella moment, coming out of nowhere and then getting the job done. And although his career probably wasn't as good as Mark Brunell's, he still was one of the all-time greatest Jaguar players. The Jacksonville Jaguars YouTube account lists Gerard as number 23 all-time as a Jaguar player, and I disagree with that. He should be much higher on that list, especially since he didn't always have the most talent around him. But let's not delay any further. As Flemlo Raps would say, this is what happened to David Gerard. Gerard began playing football at around 8 years old. And to no surprise to many people watching this video, many of his coaches didn't see his future at quarterback. When Gerard attended Neal Middle School in Durham, North Carolina, his coaches instead put him at fullback. He was so big that he was basically the Mike Allstott of middle school football, as he pretty much carried the opposing defenders down the field. And according to Gerard, he didn't mind playing fullback. I was happy with the arrangement because I got the majority of the carries, said Gerard. I never even thought about playing quarterback. In fact, it was his preteen and early teenage year teammates who actually vouched for him to play quarterback. To test his ability to effectively play the position, his coaches would line up a handful of players 15 yards away from Gerard and tell him to zip the ball to them. After easily completing the passes, the coaches told him to put even more oomph on his throws, and according to Gerard's ego, he quote-unquote lit it up on his next several passes. And from that moment on, he was a future NFL quarterback. But Gerard playing the QB position still came with its set of drawbacks. Gerard entered the NFL when Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick were just getting their feet wet as a black quarterback in the NFL. And for people who weren't born in the early 2000s, it was very much a stereotype that coaches and GMs would stay away from drafting African American quarterbacks. In essence, drafting a black quarterback came with its controversies. Remember when Eagles fans booed at the Donovan McNabb draft selection? It's obviously dumb to point out a purely racism problem since Randall Cunningham, Dante Culpepper, Vic McNabb, and others all got their shot at QB, but black quarterbacks were still very much a small number in the NFL when Gerard was a rookie. But being an African-American quarterback was not the reason why teams didn't draft him. Rather, it was a variety of factors. First of all, being from a mid-major school certainly didn't help David Gerard's draft stock. Interestingly enough, Gerard actually played against Byron Leftwich during their college years. Their lone matchup was an amazing college football bowl game where Leftwich's Marshall team somehow came back down by 30 points and defeated Gerard's East Carolina squad 64-61 in double overtime. This memorable GMAC Bowl game was a preview of both quarterbacks playing together on the Jacksonville Jaguars, where Gerard would get the last laugh by taking away Leftwich's QB job. Gerard got the nickname the Beer Truck when he played at East Carolina University, and the name definitely suits him due to his enormous stature. He explains why he got that nickname.
Coach Logan, he said, you know what, you run down the field and people get out of the way like a beer truck that's out of control. And I ran with it.
Secondly, while Gerard's East Carolina Pirates were very competitive during his time in Greenville, North Carolina, they still weren't a dominant squad. This is important to know because one of the reasons why mid-major quarterbacks like Zach Wilson can rise on the draft board is because their team was undefeated for most of the season. The old adage, "You are what your record says you are," can sometimes define how valuable your quarterback play is to the team's overall success. In layman's terms, Wilson's undefeated BYU squad, until their loss to Coastal Carolina, proved to some NFL draft scouts that he's the real deal at QB. Gerard, you might ask? His best season at East Carolina was 9-3, which included ECU defeating the number 13 ranked Miami Hurricanes that season. A very good record at 9-3, but it was still a far cry from Alex Smith's undefeated season when he played quarterback at the University of Utah. Regardless of the reason why Gerard fell in the draft, the Jaguars took a chance on him in the 4th round, and they were rewarded with a fairly decent quarterback. Despite being diagnosed with Crohn's disease in January of 2004, the former ECU Pirate ended up getting honored for the 2009 Pro Bowl, won a playoff game, and even finished with just over 16,000 passing yards in his career. If you're not familiar with Crohn's disease, here's the SparkNotes summary of the illness. Crohn's is an inflammatory bowel disease that causes inflammation of the person's digestive tract. This disease can lead to abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, weight loss, and malnutrition. While not usually life-threatening, this IBD can lead to kidney stones, inflammation of the liver, and inflammation of the eyes. To sum up, it certainly isn't easy playing the hardest position of the 4 major American sports and being malnutritious, aka having Crohn's disease. Thankfully for Gerard, Crohn's was very treatable in 2004 and is even more treatable today. The way to generally treat Crohn's is with immunosuppressants and steroids, although surgery might be required on a case-by-case basis. And that was the unfortunate case for Gerard, as he had to have surgery in June of 2004 to remove almost 12 inches of his intestines. Despite that intensive surgery, Gerard ended up staying in the National Football League until 2003, and he did more than just stay in the NFL. He showed why he earned the starting job from head coach Jack Del Rio. In the entire history of the Jaguars, only 3 quarterbacks have won a playoff game, Brunell, Gerard, and Blake Bortles. It's not the most impressive list of QBs, but it's still obvious that Gerard had a much better NFL career than his former teammate in Leftwich. Gerard flourished best when Del Rio allowed him to best utilize his dual-threat mentality. While his numbers aren't very flashy, Gerard gave Jacksonville stability at the position once they had to move on from Mark Brunell. Even with his so-so passing numbers, Gerard still led the NFL in third down passer rating during the 2007 season. His 2007 Jaguars advanced to the divisional round, where they had to face off against the 16-0 New England Patriots. We all know how that game turned out, as the Patriots wouldn't lose a single game that season until Super Bowl 42. But as good as Gerard was, he just wasn't consistent enough to stay in the league. His QB rating never went above 81, and his last 3 years were very mediocre. His 2008 season, his third to last one in the NFL, saw him throw just 15 touchdown passes to 13 interceptions. His passer rating finished just underneath 60. His 2009 season was even worse, with a QB rating of 54.4, and although he showed flashes of greatness in 2010, his 23 TD passes to 15 interceptions proved to the Jags it was time to draft the future in Blaine Gabbert. Gabbert turned out to be a bust, but it also turned out that the Jags still made the right decision in cutting Gerard. The beer truck's engine seemed to die out once he arrived in Miami. He had arthroscopic knee surgery during the 2012 training camp, and the Dolphins were forced to release him due to injury problems on September 4th. In a span of 3 years, from 2010 to 2013, Gerard suffered multiple knee injuries, as well as undergoing surgery on his herniated disc. He attempted a comeback with the New York Jets in 2013, but that inevitably fell through as he suffered through complications with knee swelling. He retired as a Jaguar in March of 2015. So what happened to Gerard? Well, he outplayed his original draft position, but he showed at times why he lacked the arm talent and decision-making to become a star in professional football. His passes lacked touch at times, and he sometimes forced the ball in unnecessary tight windows. However, Gerard's life has been anything but unsuccessful. He's currently a spokesman for 121 Financial Credit Union, and he's a role model for kids at the Painted Turtle Camp. The Painted Turtle Camp is specifically made for kids having to endure the issues of living with Crohn's disease. Gerard never became as good as Mark Brunell, but he was certainly a better QB than Leftwich and Bortles. But most importantly, Gerard overcame the problems of Crohn's disease and being slightly big for the position.
St. Pat's picking up the big win today, 41-21 on their senior night as well. We are now on the postgame show presented by Sports Broadcast Solutions. I'm here with who I would crown the champions of the game, which would be the entire offensive line of St. Pat's, because they did not allow a single sack today. Not a single one. Provided so much protection for all of them. Let's talk to Carl first here. All right, let's talk. What was the game plan coming in when you saw Carmel's defensive line? What were you guys really trying to prep for?
We just wanted to get a push to the second level, and once we realized that we could, and it was a piece of cake, it was all good from there.
It seems like you guys, I would say the unit in total as a football team, but I think with you guys specifically, you guys seem just really unified and just an all-together, put-together team, more so than I've kind of seen ever on an offensive line. What would you guys credit that to? I'm going to go to you.
I would credit to our hard work. During the off season, we put in a bunch of hard work with each other and everyone. We have a really great program going on here.
Now let's look into next week, taking on the Fenwick Friars, which is my alma mater. I apologize, but what's kind of the game? I know you guys just finished a game, but looking forward, this is a huge win for you guys. Another step closer to kind of stamping yourself into the postseason. What's kind of the game plan, not just with Fenwick in general, but just moving forward as you get towards the end of the season? I'm going to go with you.
We just got to win. We got to watch their film, figure out what they're doing, figure out how to do what we did today, go out there and win. That's all we got to do.
So I'm going to ask you guys to do one thing for me before we wrap up. I need you guys to say, go Shamrocks.
Of course.
Go ahead.
On 1, 3, 2, 1. Go Shamrocks!
See you guys next week for St. Pat's versus Fenwick.